I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
And welcome everybody to Merc Academy IBSG. Holy, it's been a long time since I've been here, but we've got Touch of Grass versus Miami Vice here up for a fun little lovely set of games. I'm Halfling, joined by Fel. Fel, how's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going wonderful. Ready for this. I'm looking for the 2-1 here. Looking for a good honestly, I'm just looking for a good series. This is tale of two different teams on two different trajectories. Touching Grass looking for their first win in any game, and Miami Vice looking to solidify their stake in first place and take it solo by themselves. But either way, excited to be here.
Yeah, excited to be here. And you can see these teams quick through the bans. Syndra and Vi banned out by Touching Grass, and Sivir and Silas gone by Miami Vice. So targeting two champions. At least you said something before we got into here, which is you really didn't want to see Touching Grass play the Sivir. So I feel like this is a pretty big favor for you and for Touching Grass here.
Yeah, I think it is, and well, we see the Jinx come out too. Unfortunately for Hamilcar, he's not going to be able to play that. He's really, really strong on the Jinx. But yeah, he's played the Sivir a lot. It didn't go well for him last week. Laning is fine. I think that their bot lane is very strong by themselves. But transitioning Sivir into these team fights where the rest of your team is behind, she's just not doing enough. And I'm looking to see Hamilcar play something with a little more agency on there.
I'm interested with the Nautilus right away.
Oh,
This
it's
leaves
the
you.
jungle.
It's the jungle. It is a flex as well. It's a possible jungle slash support flex, but both ways, you just leave yourself really open to counters constantly. You're trying to move it to support, and all of a sudden, someone can just pick the Alistar, pick the Blitzcrank, pick the Thresh, or really any other tank champion that isn't Leona into it, and just do fine. Um, and a Mumu with the lock in from Miami Vice. Quick fire way from Miami Vice going to be the mid laner. Most likely, I think it's technically a bot lane possibility flex. I see Aurora and Ziggs on Trey's Champles, so I wouldn't be shocked with that. Caitlyn and Dr. Mundo. Caitlyn, at least something big I want to see from Touching Grass earlier on. It's lane agency. It's something Hamilcar has games on alongside the Sivir and the Senna and the Jinx. And it just makes so much more sense on here. Lane priority is so important.
Yeah, and I want to see them play from a lead. I want to see them not just negating and farming, and then eventually having whichever support roams up first when Touching Grass is playing the other one. Um, it just always seems to just stay and get the kill. So I'm interested to see Hamilcar on the Caitlyn being able to have that dominance that you were just speaking about, and maybe push in. But if it's against the Hui, it could be interesting depending on how well Trey plays that.
No, bot lane focused bans here from Touching Grass, removing the Jhin and the Pike, something I said I wanted to see Trey on. Um, but Miami Vice hard targeting towards Beast in the mid laner of Touching Grass. Some kind of a bright spot, at least you and me have kind of been trying to up and elevate, and we just need to see him perform one time at least on stage before we feel validated. But you still on that hype train after these weeks?
I mean, he struggled in some matchups that I think he probably shouldn't have. He was up against Sion last week and just could not figure out how to deal with that champion. And you and I have hyped him up because we've seen him play against Emerald and high platinum players and win and dominate. But we see he gets onto the Victor, which is another good comfort champ for him. But he's just underperformed on Touching Grass, and I don't know if it's we were talking earlier whether it's the supporting cast that's not giving him what he needs, or if he's micromanaging too much, trying to be the shot caller and the mid laner. So I'd like to see if that's the case for somebody else to step up, be the shot caller, be the person that's gonna be calling things, and let him do him, because you and I have both seen him just take over games against players that are much higher rated and much higher elo than him, as we see.
Now we got to see him do that, of course, and on the Victor is gonna be a little hard to at least have that early impact that you mentioned that he's very good at. But instead, early impact really gonna be coming towards the bot lane.
Mm-hmm.
I believe what's going to happen is that Nautilus is going to be support, and that should be Mundo jungle. Be my guess. My advice rounding out Zaya Milio. Not a combo we see very often together. Rakan was entirely on the table. So they really, really don't want to deal with the dive coming from the Nautilus. They want to have all the tools that they can But in other news, should be getting the game here in a second. Fell, last second predictions before we hop in.
I think it's all gonna be based on if Lucifer can just play weak side and stay safe. If he can do that, I think that Touch and Grass have a really strong way into winning this through the Caitlyn and through the Victor late game. But my gut's telling me Miami Vice.
Yeah, I have a hard time at least arguing against the execution that Miami Vice has, but I do like the beef that Touching Grass has. I see them struggling to deal damage. Come around 20 minutes, they'll be picking back up around 30, 35 once Victor's fully online, once Mundo's finally back online. But we're going to be heading into the game. We got to make sure everything's on the Rift because it's two kind of ambiguous drafts here. So play going to be the big difference maker between both of them there. And as you can see, the scoreboard a little wonky. Thank you, Riot, for introducing another change that just broke everything. We'll get that fixed and sorted out entirely. But you can see there, the Mundo jungle no flash has the ghost, and Noto also doesn't have flash either on the Gwen top.
Yeah, and I think that's normal for the Mundo late game. He's just gonna want to run through people, and that'll let him do that. Like I said right before this, Lucifer on the Cassante. Last time we saw this, he was like 0-9 versus All Ducks on Me on the Gnar. I don't believe that Noto has that kind of aggression on him, but on a champion like Gwen, if he smells blood, he has been known to take that and go with it. So it'll be interesting to see here. And I'm actually really excited to see Renegade on this way. I haven't seen this from him yet, or a champion with this kind of the words escaping me.
Wave clear?
No,
Poke?
the complication, I guess,
Oh.
if you will. Yeah.
Level
so,
of execution.
yes, there you go. Yeah, he's smarter than me. so if he can play that
made it
well,
there.
this should be interesting. So.
Yeah, I like Wei as like this kind of all-around champion that can do it all. You have great poke, you have solid wave clear, you're pretty safe at most times in the game, but you're still that like big classical example. You're still immobile. You have the move speed that you can get from the E, I believe it is, but the EQ, but it's just hard. And you can see Rubix is already underway in the bot lane, getting Moby chunked about half under level 1 conditions, already a rough case. You don't want to be losing HP in this range to melee matchup. And Lucifer and Noto trading away in top lane. One more hook gonna land, but I don't know if Hamilcar can close the distance with the traps.
No, it might have been better to take E there, just stand closer and get at least a free E poke on there. But does go for the traps, and I think 1 or 2 more hooks, and this might be really, really bad start for Trey and Moby. Moby's got to be a little bit more careful not to get caught there.
Yeah, Moby should be able, especially this far back from the AD carry. Holy, never want to be sitting that far away from your ADC. Just give that Nautilus all the motivation they need to go in, and Noto getting the motivation to go in on top lane, Lucifer, but not enough damage to finish off the trade. But you can see you're not lacking that burst that you typically see on Gwen here. And another Dredge going to land on a Moby. One mistake after another. It burns the Ignite from Rubik's here, and the pullback of the Feathers lands the root, so it's trading back the damage, but it's not even in the slightest.
Yeah, we saw this last week with Moby not doing a very good job of accentuating Trey's dominance in controlling his champions. He's doing a really, really good job on this Xayah, just zoning off every time that Ruby hits a hook on this Nautilus. So good job by Trey, just sort of making up for it. But now he looks like he's getting caught. Ooh, flash coming out there as Mundo is chasing down Moby. But they are going to have to worry about this counter.
More, yeah. Has to flash away. Now Soul Muncher's here. There was no CC immunity on Portal B. He's pretty low. Has to be able to get out of there. Soul Muncher flashing away. Rubik's going to follow with the Dredge line. He is able to land and steal the first blood away. But it's going to still go in favor of Touching Grass going into Rubik's pocket.
Yeah, really strong play. Great chase over by the Mundo to just separate Melio from the Xayah. Xayah holding her own, doing well over there. Trey with fancy feet and a good flash, but just a little bit too late and too much damage onto the Melio. Amumu really couldn't do anything there.
Yeah, not the greatest way to start off the game, especially as the Amumu. Noto's really low, able to ghost out of there. Lucifer not able to close the distance in time, but just getting it traded on their face, and Beeson flashing forward gets it traded from Renegade. Another situation here where Touching Grass is starting to kind of show their colors a little bit. They're starting to trade a little bit, and it's off the back of mostly just mistakes that we're seeing from Miami Vice, specifically around Moby and Soul Muncher in that bot side, costing a lot of gold here as we're pinging 15 seconds over into this first dragon spawning. And I'm not 100% sure what it is. Once again, thank you, Riot. But with that being said, are Touching Grass able to contest this? Their priority doesn't look too good right now, and Noto's once again playing with fire.
Yeah, I think this should be free for them. As we see Amumu actually going in for a little bit of an invade here. I was just about to say this is the best first 5 minutes that we have seen out of Touching Grass the entire season. As Lucifer flashes forward and gets a kill on the Noto playing with fire and gets burnt. That was just you. Yeah, I guess didn't want to burn. Or it already burned the teleport earlier, but. Yeah, that's just rough, as now Beastons can be able to catch Soul Muncher
They
out
found
here.
Soul Muncher. Bandage toss puts Soul Muncher in the wrong spot. He just barely avoids getting stunned up by the gravity field, and that's the Chaos Storm. Picks up Unreportable B, and in bot lane there, Hamilcar is going to be able to find Moby White once again, probably from a Dreadnought from Rubik's Cube, just off map, and Trey under tower, getting to half HP again. Now Unreportable B on the other side of the fight. Renegade is alone. This is a 1v1 for a second here from Unreportable B. Once Beason's here. Stun not gonna land again. It's gonna find it. No Chaos Storm to follow up. Unreportable Bleed just barely making it out of the fight in time. No trade back from Miami Vice yet.
No, there hasn't been. This has just been Touching Grass. The entire first 6 minutes has been all them. And one thing that went a little understated was earlier on, Lucifer probably could have had a chance of killing Noto under his turret. Yes, Beastin almost does it, but he actually holds the flash in reserve, which I think was a really, really smart play. It allowed him to get it later when it was guaranteed. They're just scrapping.
Go immune. That's the needlework is out from Noto here. All out from the side of Lucifer, just barely able to trade back the damage in time. Noto had to burn all three of the needlework. Now Rubik's Cube gonna find another Dreadnought. It's gonna get blocked up by the quick ball. Soul Muncher is here. Found the bandage toss onto Rubik's. Stuck in the fight is the Nautilus, and the Root's gonna come back from the feathers. Moby White picked up the kill. Hamilcar, the next target, doesn't have a bandage toss here in a second. Soul Muncher couldn't close the gap in time. And the Cozy Campfire improves the damage, improves the healing, but not enough to kill Hamilcar.
Yeah, no, those you gotta have the vision, right? The last time Touching Grass was on the Rift on the stage, they were fighting over that brush basically constantly. In this game, they just didn't have it, and that's just a 100% vision kill right there. As they're getting ready to start the dragon, that is Touching Grass gonna lose this now because of that overzealous play.
Yeah, not ideal, especially when we've been saying you've been dominating the early game, but just kind of missing out on that that key trophy you get for winning these kind of before level 6 trades is that first dragon, and missing out on that's going to be a little big for the side of Touching Grass. I view them as like this very snowball comp. You can see especially Caitlyn almost always signals a big snowball comp, but you want to be dragon stacking to do that, and if you're missing out on this first dragon already, and it's based off play errors, not off draft errors, I see a very big struggle for them to recognize when they actually have the ability to go for the dragon.
Yeah. You kind of get a little overconfident on Nautilus when you hit 10 out of 10 hooks, you know what I mean? So I think it's just a little bit of that, but I would like to see Nautilus back here and go straight for the grubs, but it looks like Moby White is going to be the one that's roaming. They're going to try to push this mid wave in with Quay and then just transfer over there. The roam needs to come out from Nautilus now as we see him coming up the river, but he should have a little bit of money to maybe buy something, Vision Ward, something, but it's going to come up and it's going to be contested, and we'll see if Gwen can get there in time, but it does look like Miami Vice is more in position right now to take this.
Got Moby White pulled up. Rubik's is going to come through mid lane. Might be able to find Renegade as the fear's going to go out on a Beast, and Unreportable B did find that roam, and they're starting to move Lucifer down. Renegade's on the wrong side of the fight. Beason's here. Dreadnought's going to land from Rubik's onto Moby. Has the cleanse, has the heal to be able to make it out of there. Not quite the cleanse in time. Noto is here. Needlework's going to come through, and that's the curse this time. Mommy's going to land onto all of Touching Grass. Lucifer's tanky, but not the rest of Touching Grass. He's going to go into the back line, trying to find Noto, trying to find Soul Muncher. One more knockup he needs. Renegade, you're too far forward. You're not supposed to be there. Lucifer's going to pick up the kill the back line as well. Touching Grass, turning the play on its head. It's going 1 for 2 in favor them, and the Featherstorm misses Hamilcar in the back line as well.
Yeah, that was a really, really strong play from Lucifer. Did exactly what he's supposed to do. He took 3 people to kill him, while Renegade was just kind of stuck in the front line for Miami Vice. Not where you want to be as a Hwei, even though you have a lot of CC and damage and AOE. You do not have mobility on that champion. So well played by Touching Grass. Unfortunately, they can't do anything with it. They all had to back, and once again, Miami Vice heading over to the objective while Mundo goes to his red.
Another chance for Touching Grass to be able to grab an early game objective, and they're going to miss it again. And that's a big miss out too. And you get the Mundo inventory. Renegade's going to get stunned up straight out with the flea on the B-Sin. It's going to go in favor of Renegade, and that's the grubs falling again. We can do our own little grub stacking just after. Unreportable B is going to find Renegade here in the mid lane. The Mundo is here. It's moving as he pleases. Has the briefcase in a second. Going to find the slow, force the flash from Renegade. Good plays all around. Lucifer finds Noto in top lane. Doesn't have all out quite yet. Needlework neither from Noto, so the damage is going to go even. But I'm always, always, always scared with what that Gwen's going to have.
Yeah. Noto's having a time up here. I don't. His Gwen last week was really, really strong. Was one of the highlights of their fights against LFA, but this time, just for some reason, Lucifer is just having his way with them. This Cassante that did not bode well for him the last time we saw it is really working in his favor this time.
Yeah, and it's I mean, the big thing too for Touching Grass is, oh my lord, it's been getting close. Touching Grass has been a team where I vividly remember in a couple of our sessions here as Lucifer, this guy is going to go all out through the wall onto Noto, and that's an unstoppable Cassante. Soulmuncher couldn't save his top laner, might not be able to save himself either. The knockup's up here. It's going to be found as well. One more Q, one more auto is all he needs. Lucifer with a double kill turns the narrative on its head.
Yeah, dude, I could just imagine the comms like, "Hey, man, I'm right here. Get him to ult you over here. You know, he has the bombies on there, so he's gonna take turret aggro. He's gonna ult you over here. I'm here, and then you just both die, and you're like, okay, I don't know what happened right there. So unfortunate for Miami Vice, but Lucifer showing on this Cassante what he's capable of up top. I just want to know if he can, yeah. I just want to know if he can transfer this over to the late game and keep this momentum up.
Yeah, and a big thing from Touching Grass those first couple weeks was, what if Lucifer wasn't that far behind? What would we see as that roster? I remember in like a couple sessions, like, hey, I need you to know, man, that you're kind of the reason we lost this because you're 1-9 top lane. And this is like a big turnaround, and I'm very happy for Touching Grass, and I'm very happy for Unreportable B going to start stacking up on that Heartsteel mid lane. A big kind of question mark you see junglers sometimes buy is that Heartsteel, and you'll see them maybe get 150, 200 stacks at the end of the game. It's like, that just was never worth the gold that you spent on it. So we'll keep our eyes on that there. But how do you feel about Heartsteel junglers, Fel?
I think that it's required on certain ones. Like you see it on Sejuani basically every single time. Mundo obviously benefits a ton from the extra health. I like the bombies first, and then maybe the Heartsteel, but I know you want to start getting those stacks up. But if Unreportable Lee is going to be able to keep stacking this and showing up in lanes and these little skirmishes and just get a proc or two off and then not overcommit when he could probably kill, then I love it. I love the pick, and it's going to be a pain for Miami Vice to deal with. Unless Hwei builds a Liandry's, they're not going to have a lot that's going to be able to deal with and burn him down. Already to 202 and up on CS, like this Mundo is stacking pretty hard, going for the scale.
HP stacking is still pretty hard to stop, especially when you don't really have a typical AD carry that can kind of deal with that as much. Xayah does kind of go crit, but it's not like a Jinx crit. A lot of Xayah's damage comes from those feather pullbacks, so you're not gonna have damage from there. You have Liandry's already in the inventory of Amumu, which kind of feels rough here if you're the Wei, because Wei also really likes those burn items, already has Blackfire Torch in their inventory. And so I expect seeing like double Liandry's this game, but now you're kind of missing out on Liandry's burn for everyone. It's like a little missed damage. There's optimizations at this point. But Big thing, we're gonna do a feat check-in because I'm keeping track of that. Sadly, the client doesn't, but it's fine. It is for the last one that's up is feat of monster slaying is what they call it. It's terrible, I know. It is 2-1 in favor of Miami Vice right now. So we're gonna be keeping our eyes specifically on this Herald, I believe, is gonna be the next objective coming up. It's like 16 minutes, right?
Yeah, Harold is going to be next, and even though they got the first two, the last two went over to the side of, or the last one went over to the side of Touching Grass, and they are getting a lead, so they should be able to just kind of take this, and they might not even need it because Caitlin's being left down by
Oh,
herself, so they're going to get the feat anyways. And
they're
so
gonna get it. They are trying to find the fight under Rubik's here. Mid lane, half HP, and the Nautilus doesn't have the depth charge. It was already used. Now here comes Lucifer, the Fed. Casante's here. Burns the feather, pulled back. Burns the curse, the Semum. Yeah, unreportable B has to get out of the fight for a second. Looking for the re-engage with the Dredge line. It's a 5v4. And Touching Grass are spending dearly for the play. It's a 3-0. 3-1 as a Mumu finally follows. Beeson getting chased down by Noto. Hamilcar on the wrong side of the fight. He's getting turned on. Beeson's out of the tower. He's able to turn it. Hamilcar flashing away from Moby is able to make it out. They're turning it on its head. Barely through execution, Touching Grass, keeping up the hand checks and keeping up the confidence throughout this game.
oh my god, that play by B-Sin to not die to the Gwen and actually get the kill under the turret. Lucifer doing what he did the last fight, taking 3 of them into the back line, but it almost wasn't enough. Noto on this Gwen dished out so much damage with those scissors and actually almost aced, well, four-man for nothing that team, but B-Sin being able to get away from Noto was crucial to that play of this not just falling completely apart for Touching Grass. Well played by both.
Well played by both, but I once again I get a little worried. I see them taking this like 3.5 v5 confidently because the Casante kind of just pulled someone immediately in the back line and was out of the fight. Not dead, but not there to assist Touching Grass. It's like, hey, if you guys are this confidently in taking a fight like this and you see everyone in front of you, what's going to happen when you have to make the decision of we only see 3, but 2 are off map and could be a concern come those later game. Barons, especially, like we've been kind of expecting seeing this draft. It's going to go a while. Touching Grass has the victor. They've got the Caitlyn. They do want to wait a little while, but Caitlyn not going to be able to live for a whole long time. Burns is spiraling despair. One shot is all he needed. It's a shutdown for Renegade. Hamilcar got way too far forward. Now Noto has to get away from Lucifer in the top lane. Rubik's looking for the fight. The Dredge line going to go wide, and that's the Herald started up by Miami Vice.
Yeah, no, I'm actually kind of surprised that they're not trying to go up to Lucifer to take him out first, but I guess they just want this objective as quick as they can. Try to bust open this mid, maybe get a roaming 2 ride along on this and maybe try to get some of this money back. But Touching Grass only up by 3K. Like you said, every time that they're falling behind is just from a macro mistake. Doing that fight without Hamilcar there yet. Just making a couple bad decisions, but overall, still in this game, still in the lead, have taken the last Drake. So we'll see how this ends up going. From here's Lucifer's trying to get some pressure on this top lane.
Yeah, they feeling some pressure just because neither top laner has TPs. This is all you can really do with Casante this time. If I walk away, I give Gwen the tower, but I feel like if Gwen gets that tower, she's just going to be able to run over this matchup. She should then get enough to at least get a lot of components for a second item or the second item entirely. So it should be just kind of an honest air quote 4v4 here in the bot lane. Nothing's ever honest in the game of League of Legends. It's never not about being honest too. So seeing what kind of deceit you can get through Vision play, both these teams try and claim priority over the river.
Yeah, and this should be Touching Grass's dragon. But we see Hui just bought coming down, and since they're buying time here, as they're going for that double burn, the Lucifer is going to get this top lane potentially soon. So they do want to do this, but they pull the trigger
into
without
lane. It's on to Renegade. Depth Charge and Dredge line both used already from Rubik's. That's the banish house going wide at Hamilcar. There's only one more in the inventory. Soul Muncher still has Curse the Sad Mummy for the extra engage. Beeson's here. They're trying to stop the Herald, Miami Vice don't want to deal with that HP ball, the death ball that is touching
Oof.
grass. They're going to give away the priority. And here's the wave one more time. Noto has to try and defend this. Lucifer does not care. The burn's going to go through. The tower shot's going to go through. Now has to turn it onto the face. Noto's here. All out available. Going through the wall. Lucifer couldn't find the true damage. Can't find the Dado. Dodo almost finding the kill onto Lucifer. The snips, not enough, but it's evened up. Dodo back onto it, and Lucifer finds another solo kill at top lane with the tower, and it's going to be a mid-tower traded for the dragon.
Yeah, so you get the top tower and the dragon and another solo kill that Lucifer on this Cassante. Very impressive. This is what Touching Grass has been missing. And the fact that Miami Vice didn't go and try to get this Gwen ahead may end up being the reason that they potentially lose this game. We've seen what happens when Lucifer's behind. We have not seen him from ahead. So this is going to be really interesting to see if they can keep this up, as their next priority is going to be this mid lane. They are going for it hard.
For it hard, even burn the Spiraling Despair from Renegade who went half HP. Trey has to flash away. And they burn the Milio ult too at the same time. A little interesting decision there, but no flash on Xayah here for this Baron spawn.
Yeah, that's Emilio ult for a Caitlyn ult. He's done it twice now. I don't know if I really like that. I feel like Emilio ult has a lot more than just keeping somebody at full health. But you know, we'll see what ends up happening over here. I mean, the stage of the game right now, Otacon is up, and it looks like Miami Vice are just trying to rush to this objective. They feel like they're falling behind, and they might get it just by surprise, catching Touching Grass, but they're moving up from the blue side jungle. Looks like they're going to try to take this tower as Lucifer's coming in on the
They
teleport Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, they wanted Otacon. Dredgeon's going to go wide from Rubik's here, and that's burning the TP from Noto. You see Trey still mid lane. Himilcar's got the advantage there. Lucifer TPing as well. This should be a 5v5 in time. Now, Miami Vice buying time maybe for Trey to reset. Looks like they might have item on reset. Lots of resets coming through here, so maybe Otacon's just going to go straight towards Touching Grass after Miami Vice made this rotation. That isn't not a great feeling, to be honest.
No, you teleport in being like, all right, boys, we're going to go. And then it's just, we're going to go back to base. I could have saved that and I could have pressed bot or something. So a little bit of miscommunication, not willing to pull the trigger there, as now Noto's going to have to do Lucifer again up in this top lane. And this should be a free Otacon, or at least a late entrance from Miami Vice on this Otacon.
Just getting it started up here. You can see Renegade's bot lane has the teleport, but there's no real good waves there. 4,000 left on this Baron, or not Baron, Otacon, as another engage coming through, and there's no way for Soul Muncher to get through. Now here is the choke that you're looking for. Chris Simon is going to go with the two tanks. No, they're going to take out Rubik's and engage in the back line. Here comes Lucifer cutting through Trey. There was no time to get out. There's no way you can get away from the Chaos Storm. Renegade, the next target of Touching Grass, is Ira. Unreportable B, pretty slow. So is B-Sin. Renegade can flash over the wall. Himilcar has to get out of the fight. Renegade one shot, can't quite get away. Himilcar flashing forward to finish it off. Now Moby White, the next target, and that's Unreportable B. He's unstoppable on the Mundo, but he can die still, and Soul Muncher picks up the kill, but not the Otacon.
Yeah, that looks like maybe Mundo bit a little bit off more than he could chew. He had an avenue to escape through the mid lane there, but you know, chose to try to get it. You know, stacking the 38 on the Heartsteel. I think he's hit 3 people with that now, maybe 4.
That's 2.
So, that's 2. Okay, then yeah. You know, maybe trying to get another. I think they've both been on the Melio too.
Yeah, it's one of the. It calls back to, like, if you're gonna buy this item, you really have to kind of just turn into a laner. And just start fighting everyone after, like, you clear a quadrant and then your path isn't to go up, it's to gank that side's lane just to try and get a stack. And that's why people kind of stop building Heartsteel. And Moby White is, what are you doing here, man? There's nothing here for you. Dragons in a minute. Vision not necessarily required, and not even yours. B-Sin has priority bot lane. Himilcar has priority mid lane. There's no reason for Miami Vice to feel this pressed about the dragon.
Yeah, and I think that's just him, probably no communication on that play. I think that's just him saying, I put a ward down. Ooh, Scryer, you know, like Squirrel. And then just like dialing in on it, not even looking that Caitlyn is like right there. And Rubik's Cube's been really good on these hooks already, and you just made it easy for him.
Yeah, made it easy, but it's still the hook that needed to land to pick off Moby White. Still alive, still kept that ultimate. It's pretty important to, um, at least if you're dealing with the Nautilus like route, I guess, or the slows, but kind of a nothing burger of a Emilio game as the knockup's going to go wide onto Renegade. Has to use Spiraling Despair to try and deal a little bit of damage to Lucifer, but is barely able to poke the Cane of Rooker in. Lucifer has dealt more damage to himself than Renegade has to him, and Renegade falls to Lucifer. Another solo kill in the top lane for the turnaround top laner.
Yeah, not only that, they gave up all of their position when Moby died for this dragon. So you lose your mid laner, you're gonna lose top tier 2 more than likely here, and you lose the third dragon. Touching grass on Dragon Soul Point right now, and it is going to be a Chemtech Dragon. That's going to be really, really hard for them to deal with. They need to win a team fight before this next dragon. If you're Miami Vice,
Not a great situation for Miami Vice at this moment. They're caught constantly off guard, especially by the K'Sante damage. They're just not respecting him enough at all, and he's itemized so heavily into this AP. The only person you can really see matching it is Xayah. And you don't want Xayah matching the K'Sante at all. That's as stupid as it sounds. Don't worry, folks. I'm not being crazy. I'm laughing at that as well. It's just kind of it's a lose-lose situation here for Miami Vice. How do you deal with this beefy of a tank that has that solo kill threat? And it's almost like a reverse situation that we've been seeing happen with Lucifer as well. Still back to struggling to find their way to the game. Now all of a sudden in this lead, and it looks like they've done this a million times. They're pressuring when they need to pressure. They're backing off when they need to back off, and it's a breath of fresh air for both us on the desk not having to cast a 1-9 player, as well as for Touching Grass, who look a lot more comfortable in this game.
yeah, I think last week, especially on the Aurelia. Oh, here he goes again. This is just
He's gonna go
Noto
again. He
getting
just found Noto,
completely
and there's
caught.
nowhere for you to go other than away. Has to go out of the play.
Yeah.
Able to make it out, but still more pressure bot. More eyes are starting to turn towards Baron as well as it's up. It's warded as well by Touching Grass, and Beeson's keeping the wave clear up, defending this bot tower with his life.
Yeah, that bot tower is just a sneeze away. But the more you keep it there, the more you keep the gold away from Miami Vice and the objective bounties and everything. Lucifer last week, as I was saying right before he almost killed Noto again, was on his Aurelia especially, was actually having like good flashes. Oh, speaking of good flashes, Rubik's Cube going in on the Nautilus. It will be a little bit too far away though, as Noto's gonna have to waste another teleport coming in for a play that's already dead. But Lucifer on the Aurelia last week, we saw him with some good flashy plays. It was just the patience that he's showing today we have not seen from him yet. So we know the fingers are there. He just has to keep, playing like this, where he holds his flash till he needs it. Doesn't get caught out by junglers when he shouldn't be there. Good vision, everything going his way. And if I'm Miami Vice and if I'm their coach, or if I'm in there talking about what's going wrong this game, next game is 100% going to be we're ganking Lucifer within the first 3 minutes.
No. Tower. It's gonna fall. Renegade's gonna get stunned up by Beeson. There's Spiraling Despair is used, but the Chaos Storm does so much more damage. Renegade get followed up by Beeson. Slapped across the face. They lost the tower. He lost his life. Another bad situation gone worse for Miami Vice.
Yeah, that tower was going to fall eventually, and Beeson was just like, okay, this is a good time. We want to start Baron. I'm going to let him take this tower, and then I'm going to kill him. And that's exactly what he did. Lucifer is just going to go and try to 1v4 while they take this Baron. But yeah, it looked like he was just like, all right, go ahead, take the tower. I'm just going to kill you for it. And there goes your flash. So, well played by B. I like that play. You're going to lose it anyways. And this basically guarantees you the Baron.
It's just a near uncontested Baron. All it took was Rubik's kind of walking a little far forward just to make Miami Vice once again unsettled, uncomfortable in the space that they're in. And now knocking on this tier 2 mid. They've got 2-2 top as well, setting up into roughly a 4-1 You can see that's unreportable on the wrong side, at least trying to piloting in between them. So much is the backside of the fight. Wants to look for the flank. Is going to be able to find it on Hamilcar. Here comes the Curse of the Sad Mummy. It's peeled out by Rubik's. Hamilcar flashing away. Now the knockup landing onto Trey. And he's just been exploded. Burns the Featherstorm to get out of the play. Turret's going to land one more shot on Rubik's Cube. And the ace in the hole. Not enough to kill Trey. But it is enough to get Touching Grass, the mid-tier 2, as that falls. Lucifer starting to knock on the door of this tower. It's down to a third. Lucifer going into the tower, trying to find Noto, but are realizing that maybe I shouldn't go that far. Too many good things shouldn't mean a bad thing.
Yeah, no, well played by him. He does get a ton of damage on that tower. Mid lane falls down, and then he smartly walks away. I got money. I'm going to go get my next item. And just playing this lane just almost perfectly is very refreshing to see this out of Lucifer. This is something that we've been told that he's capable of and something we should watch out for, and now he's showing it as the dragon is spawning. This is Chemtech's soul for Touching Grass if they can get it. Miami Vice need to take this fight, but yeah, and Gwen is okay. She's coming down. It looked like she was going to try to match top, but they need this dragon badly. Lucifer does have teleport, and all ults are up except for Caitlyn and the dredge line from Nautilus, but that will be up by the time the fight starts. So here we go. Let's see the team fight execution that these guys can pull off. It's going to be really interesting. If you're Touching Grass, do you want to try to start this quick, or do you want Lucifer to have to pull somebody back for that tier 3?
Man, he's already pulling somebody back for tier 3. Renegade's resetting to answer it now and has the TP to follow, but as long as K'Sante stands there, this 4v4 is looking up for Touching Grass. They're not lacking damage, they're just lacking one of their diving tanks. And they've been doing fine without him, and he's been doing God's work in the top lane as well. And Rubik's and Hamilcar just kind of dancing around. The Banana Brush, so important, making sure no one can start the dragon unreportable, getting close but not picked. Ethan Hole's going to come out. It's just poke onto Moby White. I don't think Noto quite understood exactly what that skill shot, if we can call it that, meant. Gold check just before they start fighting, as we've just been kind of giving each other the mean look. We're giving the mean mug. It's going to go to Moby White, not the Heartsteel stack we're looking for, but that's the dredge line onto Soul Muncher. Depth charge burns Trey through. Doesn't have the Feather Storm to use quite yet. Noto, half HP, has to try and get away from Underportable. Able to get the Blast Cone out. Now Trey, Feather Storming to get away from Rubik's. Another laser from Beeson. Runs Miami Vice away, and Caitlyn found the heart of poor old Noto.
Yeah, and that's going to be Soul. Lucifer, like, Renegade can't do anything to him to stop him from doing what he wants. So this is all going Touching Grass's way, and this is all on the shoulders of Lucifer. If he needs a back massage, they're going to have
to try and get out.
Oh.
No, that's a little bit of a hiccup, but not able to get out of the play quite yet. Lucifer able to find Soul Muncher, and through has the flash, and the shield guarantees their ability to make it out of the play. He's low HP, trying to get the move speed to get out of there, getting followed by Wei. Should make it out in time.
Yeah, and he does, and that was clean. 1v3 takes the inhibitor as they get the soul. Like, there's just nothing that these guys can do, and I think at this point in the game, if you're Miami Vice, you're starting to talk strategy for the next game. Let's just, take this time while we have it to just sort of, turtle up, think about what we want to do for next game and how we want to deal with this, because K'Sante will not be available, so Touching Grass may want to talk about what they want to do as well, because this is very impressive from this K'Sante.
Oh, great. Yeah, wonderful. It's not Fearless.
No, I wasn't even talking about Fearless. They're not going to let him have it. That is that's going to be a round 1 ban for sure. Unless Noto can play Gnar as well as All Ducks on Me can, this K'Sante is not going to be available.
It's not going to be as free, at least, because Gnar isn't like the hardest counter to K'Sante. It's not like Garen or Darius at bad, but it's pretty bad. And I think that was like a product of just kind of too many mistakes stacking on top of each other. And Lucifer in this game is looking a lot better. Also finding Moby White once again, the theme of this. It's only been 2 times, but Moby White's getting caught out, has to flash away from the dredge line, and Rubik's burning another one of Moby White's flashes. Here, as there's no objective on the map, 55 seconds here before the Baron, and Miami Vice can't even get out of their own jungle.
Yeah, and I misspoke earlier. They do still have that inhibitor. I thought Lucifer took it and then got out, but they did pressure him off of it. So There are no. Oof.
Oh, Noto eating a big ace in the hole, but does have backup for a second. Moby White using the Breath of the Light, getting the healing towards Noto. Now Lucifer low, shut down by Rain Guard as well. 3 is the magic number here for Miami Vice.
Yeah, eventually you overplay your hand, and that's just kind of what happened. He used his ult on Gwen to get to Moby and almost two-shot him. That's how strong this Cassante is. Imagine if there was any follow-up. I think at that point you're in comms. You're like, all right, bro, we got that. You limit tested. Now let's get back to just winning this game. Oof.
Oh my lord, Moby White did get Hamilcar forward enough to flash away. So big 80 carry flash burned there, and now Hamilcar taking a lot of damage and so much on the backside of the fight. Is gonna get dredge line, so they cannot find the bandage toss through, and Death Charge on Renegade. He's gonna fall unreportable. Found the kill. Renato TP'd over here with the needlework. There's a lot of low HP bars here. Rubix couldn't get bursted. Chaos Storm still from B-Sin. Flash 4 from Trey, gonna be able to take him out. Shutdown claimed. Hamilcar last alive for the damage. One more auto is able to snipe out Trey. Noto has to close the distance. It's another 3 for 3. Barely evened up, and now Lucifer TPing on the backs of the fight has all out, and I said 3's the magic number. This is only 2, and there is no Breath of Life as well for the healing for Moby White, so it's just the Cozy Campfire already going through onto Noto. Lucifer trying to take the inhibitor now, ready for the fight. Kander Croker needs a lot of damage. Lucifer doesn't seem too interested in fighting.
No, I think that he wanted to flank, but he just came up a little bit too late. But he's gonna keep this pressure up. And then they should be walking towards Baron now. They should be setting up this vision and understated play. Hamilcar on this Caitlyn. That should have been a dead Caitlyn, but him getting away from Trey there after Trey got the first 2 was just crazy good. Saved that entire play. And then almost got another kill on the Moby again. I feel like we're saying that a lot today. Moby almost dead. So really well played on this Melio from him. Just individual play is really keeping these guys' eyes. Lucifer has his eyes on this. But yeah, as I said, here comes the Baron call. They're going to go in. Soul Muncher is on the wrong side of the map for this. I don't know if they see him on that vision ward yet, but as soon as they do, they're going to call this. Yep, there they go.
Finally starting up the Baron, and Moby White's TPing away. Soul Muncher not even on the right side of the map, but they have perfect vision on exactly where he is at this moment. It's 8,000 HP as Noto is here, has the idea of it, but understands there's nothing I can do to even try and steal this away as the Baron. It's the second one in the inventory of Touching Grass here. A minute left before this Elder Dragon as well, so it's starting to look bad here for Miami Vice as Exodia is starting to get pieced up. They're looking for one more card. They're looking for the end here. They can pick and choose, but they got to make a decision here to try and end the game.
Yeah, and Touching Grass does see that it's a 1-3-1 right now. They do have the tools to just go all in and pull the trigger, but they wait just long enough for Miami to get back into it. It looks like they're just going to try to take the mid and then maybe just have Lucifer sit up top while they go and try to take this Elder Dragon that spawns in 28 seconds. Decent, I guess. I probably would have tried to get a second inhibitor here. To get the Elder and then try to do a last fight. You do have the Baron buff, but it does seem like the communication on the side of Miami Vice is just sort of fallen off. Like, why is Soul Muncher over on the bottom?
Oh, it's a death push.
Yep,
They've got a sniff of it, but not enough of it, and the dredge line is just pulled. Noto to their own death. Rubix picked it up in the end, but at this point, it doesn't quite matter who picks up the kill. A kill is a kill, and Elder is an Elder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Ruben, it's just one of those. There is a blue ward on Hui. It's still up. That is the most used death bush. Yeah, I don't know. I think that they're just not thinking. They're probably just going through the motions at this point, a little defeated, and then probably thinking like, how did we let this happen? How did we let Touching Grass come back on this and do us dirty like this? But you're gonna have to get over this. This is more than likely going to be the final play of the match. As we see, Renegade is outside of his base, not with the team. And
Just
no Gwen
splitting to
perspective.
try and get the wave away. Soul Muncher getting a little too far forward, finding out just how much damage this Caitlyn has. So is the tower there. Soul Muncher, 4-man. Curse the Sad Mummy, but the Elder Dragon too much damage. The Chaos Storm running around untargeted right now. And Spartan Despair is also burned by Way. There's just waiting for this wave, waiting for the poke to come through. It's still a 5v4 in favor, touching grass right now, but if any mistake can cost the end, just gotta make sure, Rubik's especially, just has to make sure they can get one more hook off to find the utility, find the pick they need. Touching grass taking their time and found Renegade. There's nowhere for you to go. There's nowhere for you to run. The inhibitor's gonna fall. Rubik's gonna be able to catch. Poor old Trey dying in the Feather Storm to the Elder Dragon, and touching grass take their first game here in IBSG.
What a work by Touching Grass. I just have to give props to Lucifer, and then I also have to give props to whoever is drafting for Miami Vice, getting Hamilcar off of that Sivir and onto the Caitlyn. That was let him have the Sivir if he's gonna take it, because that Caitlyn was clean. Beast in on the Victor, also very clean. Like, that was just from top to bottom. I love to see it from Lucifer. That is a redemption game right there. That's the I'm gonna take this and show everybody what I can do, and probably what he does in scrims. Because this team is stuck with him even through this, even though he's normally the reason they're losing. But yes, very well played, Touching Grass. I'm interested to see what Miami Vice does to counter this. They are at this point the best team in the league. I expect a good bounce back game too.
I think that bounce back is really going to come from Moby White specifically, just not getting caught out as much bot lane. Yes, there was like a big issue top lane, but it wasn't 9-0 issue. It was like what, 7-3, 6-3. Like, it was manageable, but specifically like on top of top lane kind of losing in isolation, you were supposed to be focusing bot lane, and Moby was just getting caught out so many times that there was no avenue to fight. That's kind of how I view it as a sport. Yes, he went 1-2 on the Milio. Yeah, but both of those deaths were incredibly impactful in the lane. The amount of times you got caught out were incredibly impactful. And I do see kind of maybe drafting something a little less unorthodox with the Xayah Milio as well, coming in favor of Miami Vice. But they have side selection, so not going to be too shocked. Especially, mostly big shock is, what do you change out for that K'Sante ban?
The Sivir. I'll let the Sivir go. We've seen Hamilcar fall back onto that Sivir plenty of times. I think he's played it 3 out of the 4. So yeah. So let him have that, and if he goes to that, you win. So hopefully he doesn't, but that's what I would do.
And with that being said, we got to wait for that second draft. Ugh, my bad. To start. So we got to send it to a quick little break here. We'll see you back once that draft starts, but don't go anywhere.
from side to side. Without you by my side, my side, my side. Without you by my side. One time from side to side. Peekaboo, I see you, peekaboo, I see you. Looking at me, looking at you. Hold up, where you going? What you doing? Who you seeing? What you need? What you want? I said, without you by my side, my side, my side. Without you by my side. One time from side to side. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. One time from side to side.
Welcome back. It's been a little bit of a longer break, but we're back into draft here between Miami Vice and Touch of Grass. Miami Vice opting into blue side. No shockers there if you've been kind of perennially around League of Legends for a while here. But I can't imagine them changing their bans too much. The big one that you mentioned, though, was that Sivir for Cassante ban.
Yeah, if they don't do that, that would be great. Unless he has an answer for Cassante. Also, I think that we're going to see a lot more jungle towards the top side. We saw basically 0 ganks throughout the entirety of the laning phase until like very late. I think that was Cassante's first death. But yeah, as we see the Syndra and Hecarim coming out from touching grass again, and then they banned the Mundo as well. They didn't like seeing the big man in their faces. So strong pick, and they banned the Sivir again. Well, there it is.
There's that Sivir. So Cassante's getting challenged. Something I was kind of shocked about was seeing was not seeing a Trundle at all. I've kind of seen that kind of just run circles around a lot of people around Merc, IBSG specifically for a while now. So I was kind of shocked to not see that into the Mundo, but I also kind of understand because he doesn't deal with HP as well as he deals with resistances, and he kind of just happens to deal with people that have HP. But Miami Vice on blue side opting into that Jinx, touching grass now, kind of have to throw down the gauntlet. How can we challenge that? And Vi already a good step in the right direction.
Yeah, they got to go for a dive comp here. Keep Jinx from getting the resets. As we see the Rakan as well, this is going to be a protect the president now. I mean, you kind of put your flag down on this Jinx. We know that she can do a ton. Poppy is a very, very good pick into Rakan and Vi. So they're going to try to do their best to keep Jinx alive. I'm interested to know what they're going to do in the mid lane for Renegade to have that secondary damage. Looks like they're opting in for the Amumu jungle again against that Mundo. It didn't work last game, but also when Lucifer was so far ahead, there's not much you can do.
That's a very, very early jungle show there because you have that Poppy into Vi, which is typically seen as a really good matchup. Yeah, thank you guys for the raid. But back into the draft specifically, just showing that jungle Amumu so quickly. Yes, you technically have the flexibility between jungle and support Amumu and Poppy as well. But just showing that so early kind of feels a little pointless to me, in my personal opinion. You kind of remove the question marks and you just kind of show exactly, okay, here's our 2 champions, and then you give Touching Grass a really good option here. They can go this Tristana now. Now both those champions, you have to have that Poppy bot lane now, so all of a sudden Amumu back into kind of a rough jungle matchup.
Yeah, and Soul Muncher, for not that it really mattered, had a lot of really good Curse of the Sad Mummies in the last game. Was able to get 4 or 5-man ults at times, but they were just so far behind that they couldn't really do anything with it. But strong pick, especially now that the Mundo's out, and they switched over to the Vi. He's going to be able to deal with the Vi a little bit better and protect this Jinx, as we see the Azir and Orianna banned away from V-Sin, and Malphite and Zed taken away from the side of Miami Vice. And Yone, is that top or mid?
I believe it's still a flex between both champions. With Yone being the choice here, I do like this flex opportunity because Touching Grass, they don't have it. There is literally no magic damage on this team besides half of Yone's autos and Rakan. So they really do have to keep this flex option open, and they're going to be the Jax and the Ahri, 2 very solid blinds, both really good into the Yone. So I would not be shocked with some sort of AP option top lane, specifically like a Mordekaiser, or you can throw down the gauntlet into the Ahri. Hey, I'm going to challenge your push with my own push and my own poke here with the Mel.
Yeah, and Beeson's pretty good on the Mel. He actually deserves some bans on it. I think they banned it last game from him, which kind of forced him into the Victor. But Mel offers a lot of the same stuff. Good CC, high damage output, good wave clears. So this should be pretty close to the same style of champ for him. The only difference is now shooting that rocket back. I want to see like maybe a low Baron or a low Dragon have a Jinx ult come in and just get knocked back away from it, as we've seen a lot of Jinx steals in these IBSG type leagues. So good draft. TG went away from what worked for them in game 1, which was tanky, and now they're just going, all in engage, and then just trying to set up picks and get this Tristana going. with Mel in the background to be able to just do the sustained damage.
Mel's a good, a really well skilled champion in Beeson's hands. They've been very good at it, even in the losses that they've had the champion picked. Beeson's always looked like the shining light on that champion, but now it's back into that top lane question. Jax versus Yone is it's a pretty hard matchup for the Yone to win outright in the same way that we saw K'Sante and Gwen happen. Now, if you ask most people though, Gwen is a pretty good counter into the K'Sante as well. So Lucifer not a stranger to this kind of situation here, at least in the series, but really to the big one is going to be the jungle, and that means we're going to be heading it into the game because once again, it's another game. We just got to see what these teams can do. And heading into this game already, you can see the confirmation. The Amumu is the jungler, Poppy support.
Yeah, and I mean that makes a lot more sense because he's going to want to keep that Poppy on top of the Jinx, as we see B, and it's going to be a standard 5-man, just chilling 5 here. No invades, probably just going to get a little bit of deep vision as they can, and then off to the lanes, and we'll see if Touching Grass can keep that momentum they had from game 1. As you said, the Yone is not really great into Jax, but neither is K'Sante into Gwen. So interested to see if Lucifer can keep this up this game, or if this is going to be Nodo's. All right, I'm one of the best top laners in this league, and there's a reason for it. I'm going to show you.
This is a big game to show it as well, especially kind of looking across the comp. It's really just everyone kind of relying on a miracle engage from Jax or Mumu or Poppy, or like a charm from Ahri. As you can see, a little bit of first blood shenanigans coming around, not quite a kill, as it's just Touching Grass looking for the kill. Moby White's gonna have to push to the wall, and now it's turning into a kill. Important Portable has to flash away so much, or closing the distance, but has the got tantrum. It's not tantrum, that's the E. But it's just running down under Portable. Has the move speed to make it out, but Moby White's gonna have to push to the wall. One more auto is needed. It's going to be close, and Poppy picking up the first blood, but now the fallout is under Portable, not able to pick up the camp at bot lane as well.
Yeah, what a good job. I mean, do you not take the dash? I mean, you got caught once. You gotta take your Q on the buy, and it's just so that you can get out of there safely. But a little bit of misplay there on the side of Touching Grass. This is exactly what Miami Vice want. And now we're gonna see a quick gank, as we called in the pregame.
It's a very, very quick gank, and the wave is massive onto Nodo, so he's taking a lot of damage. This 1v2 is very possible. Has to flash away from Lucifer, now turning onto Soul Muncher. Soul Muncher has no CC to match onto Lucifer, just confidently standing in that wave, confidently pushing away the top side of Miami Vice.
Yeah, you knew you wanted to do that. He needed to press the wave. Nodo, a little bit of a misplay on the wave management side, but still, good look. That's what you want to do. You need to keep the pressure on Lucifer. You need him to overstep, but well played by Lucifer again to just recognize. And now Nodo is once again just stuck under turret with no health, just like last game.
Very similar situation, eerily similar situation, but not as quick as Lucifer's just replicating those same conditions. They need to look for the kills, and it's forcing Nodo to go for a very early reset here. Gonna have to blow that TP, and all of a sudden now, that's just the glowing moat. You can see they're picked up in the inventory of Jax. You're stuck on that for the next 4 to 5 minutes easy, as Beeson's gonna send a charm back to the wave, but taking a little more damage from that. The Electrocute's gonna go out Renegade, getting Beeson low. Needs 2 more autos to finish that off, but Beeson's playing with fire already.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. He is getting a little bit of damage back, but there's no jungle pressure coming out from the buy because she's so far behind. This is probably just going to should end up being just Renegade backing here.
Oh, he's gonna get rooted. The charm's gonna land. Beeson flashes the max range. Renegade, 1 auto needed, and he confirms it's a kill onto Beeson. Now into bot lane, Moby White not quite getting caught out, and Soul Muncher's back top lane, ringing the bell. It ain't broke, don't fix it. And Lucifer not able to get away, has to snap back under the tower. No knockup need. He's gonna flash across Soul Muncher and Nodo there. Counter strike coming up in a second, but still need to wait for it. Nodo is just able to finish it off with the help of Soul Muncher claiming the feat of warfare.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about in the pregame. This is exactly what you need. Top lane, shut it down, do what you're gonna do, and then just keep that in your back pocket as the win con. Getting Noto to the point where they're going to have to send 2-3 people in the late game to deal with him, much like they had to do with Lucifer in game 1.
Yeah, it's going as long as you can contain the Jacks, it should be fine. You can see another, well, both top laners kind of on unfortunate reset timers there. As it's just the Ruby Crystal glowing mode in the inventory, and Noto there on off that gank as well, and Lucifer not in much of a better spot. Double dagger definitely helping Yone a little more than what Jax's items do. And Unreportable sitting in the bush bot lane. I don't
He was spotted
think,
out by the ward.
yeah, I don't think they know that ward's in that bush there. So just gonna get known, and that means it's another kind of missed opportunity, more time eaten up here, and should mean those top Raptors are taken. But Soul Muncher's pathing bot lane.
And Soul Muncher spending all that time up top did kind of put him basically even on farm with the Vi. So Vi has caught up from that first death. Doesn't have the kill in her back pocket, but they are even on CS, and now the Dragon's up. If you're touching grass, do you just try to keep pressure on this bot lane, or do you go and try to save Lucifer here?
As Vi right now, I feel like I should try and abuse this like offset of XP that Lucifer has. They have the advantage, so you can kind of sit and wait for a little bit longer. Himilcar's gonna get way too far forward, still taking tower, flashes into choppers there. Knock up from the Grenadiers onto Trey. Trey ignited, has to get away just for a second. Himilcar, one shot needed, and one more auto. The rocket, not enough. It's able to finish off now. Finally, Rubik's picked up the kill, but Trey trades it back in kind there onto Himilcar, and the Fate Sealed on Lucifer going on top of Noda there. There's no counter-strike for the Jax, but he's quite tanky with that Rubik Crystal, as well as just the double dagger, and Soul Muncher hanging around here top lane, looking for one more chance. Once again, ringing the bell. It's not broke, don't fix it. And Lucifer spotting it out again, has the knockup. Noto has counter-strike, has leap strike, has the ability to find this engage onto it, but Lucifer able to snap back, able to try and live just a little extra longer, try and turn it on its face, but Soul Muncher and Noto deal too much damage.
Yeah, this is the Lucifer that we have been seeing, just running it down, not even really on purpose, but just running it down, getting caught out. So we'll see now if maybe he chills out a little bit. If you're going to be that close up, you might as well just go proxy, because you are winning the 1v1, but you're just too far ahead. He needs to get a little bit more deeper vision. I'd like to see Unreportable Lee go up there on the Vi and maybe put a ward over in Amumu's blue side to catch him coming earlier. But even though they're losing in the top lane, they do get the dragon. Their bot lane did get a kill back. Unfortunately, it went on to the Rakan, but they did get a kill back on that 2v2 where Himilcar just stood a little bit too close to the turret. But well played on their side here. Soul Muncher making another play here.
Very
all
close with the Bandit Shot. He's got one more, but it's going to push Beeson, but onto a wall. Beeson getting stunned under the tower, but not enough damage to burst him so far. And still, that's the top, and that's the jungle and the support here. And Beeson's getting engaged on mid lane. There's no reflect there. Renegade just gets it delivered on a silver spoon and happily takes that kill.
Yeah, this early game belongs to Soul Muncher. He is doing everything that he needs to, and it's all off the back of the fact that the Unreportable Lee gets caught early on in that jungle, and just too many summoners down, and too much gold just given up freely in this game. And now they're going to get the Grubs, and Grubs with the Jax on the split push. That's going to be really, really rough for them to deal with.
It's going to be really, really rough for them to deal with. Now, Lucifer still has that XP advantage, but you can see the items starting to get really, really rough here, as it's just the reflex bow, the dagger, still no actual 80 item in Lucifer's inventory. So he's just a mosquito kind of slowly whittling down Noto in comparison to that sheen in the inventory of the Jax. But it's been Soul Muncher, like you said, just driving this early game. Once again, back top lane here, and there's no vision. Himilcar's going to find Trey, but it's just damage. It's no kill threat onto the Jinx. She's still safe here with their Poppy rotating.
Right, and a little bit of a misplay. It looked like Himilcar was ready to go in, maybe a little bit more communication. Rubik's could have at least eat over to him, dash, and then maybe get W knock up onto the Jinx. But, still Himilcar playing that well. This bot lane still is sort of in the favor of them. Oh
Oh,
no,
you
never
can't
mind.
get away from the ground, and the rocket just gets eaten up by Rubik's, and that means Hamilcar is going to fall to Trey. Once again, a 2-0 Jinx. We know this story. We've seen this script a million times, and the Jinx is starting to spin up.
Yeah, and unfortunately, B was coming down for a roam. He had the wave pushed, and it would have been a great macro play on the side of touching grass, but just a little bit too overzealous on this Tristana from Hamilcar. But now we see Lee coming in, may at least get the ult out of the Ari, but she backs off smartly.
Lucifer looking for a little damage out of Nodo. Hasn't quite hit anything yet, and there it is. Finally starting to land up and do a little bit of damage out of Nodo, but it's just in front of the wave, and one Sheen auto is all you need. A bonk from the Lantern just evens up the trade in time. This is kind of the state of this matchup here. You get a little bit behind into this Jax, and all of a sudden there's just too much damage coming in those short trades.
Yeah, and he's also with the grasp proc. He's keeping the tempo up on that grasp, and basically every time it's up, he's getting a shot in. It seems so. Well played over by Nodo as Hamilcar goes in on this Jinx. And
Trey found it. Now Moby and Soul Muncher realize they've got better targets to target. Here is Hamilcar able to get out with the rocket jump now. Moby White knocks away the Vi here. A good curse this time. Mummy locks down Rubik's. Couldn't even move. Couldn't even breathe. Trey, low HP, still going frenzied. Moby White picked up the kill. Now unreportable back here. Beeson trying to find the route. Able to miss it onto Moby White. More plates going towards Renegade. There's more gold going in the inventory. Miami Vice as this play moves on. Lucifer forces the flash from Nodo. The fate sealed burn, but it's a flash from that Jax now. And what are you doing? Hamilcar under the tower dies to Moby White.
that had to have been a misclick, right? That's I want to hit my E or my Q or something.
Oh,
Ooh, Beeson getting the trait back.
I
That's
hate-
nice.
I can barely tell how much damage that Mel ult's gonna do, which I guess is a great thing for Mel, as Renegade just pops from a 3rd HP.
Yeah. Also, the wave clearing, getting him stuck there under the turret to take that turret shot on top of all of the build up on her passive. Good ult, good play by Beeson. Knows that champ really well, and this is one of the reasons it gets banned from him. So if he hadn't given up those first 2 kills, he would be in a really good position here right now. But touching grass, playing from behind, doing a decent enough job at it, but are gonna have to sort of figure out a way to get back into this game, get it even. It's already almost a 3K gold, or it's over 3K gold lead on the side of Miami Vice.
It's over 3,000 gold lead. If we can kind of take a check to see who that's on specifically. I've got 100s on everyone, to be honest, in this game. But Noda's getting quite low. They're on the trade, so we can check just how much gold's being overcome there. It's 100 gold in the top lane there, and it's still a level. That's kind of your big bread and butter that you want to be abusing here. But Soul Muncher has been just kind of the name of the game here, and it's just another death. It's a shutdown for Lucifer in the top lane, who's just catching us off guard, catching Nodo off guard onto the tower, and rewriting history a little bit, but has a long way to go before they can really start carrying.
Yeah, but still, really well played. I didn't see if the Counter-Strike was up for Jax or not. He must have just known that it wasn't, because flashing onto a Jax when he's under turret usually isn't smart. But no, well played by Lucifer to know his limitations there and be able to pull that off. As we see, a 3v2 is starting to form over in this bot lane. Jinx is on her way, but sort of just clearing the wave. But Vi counter jungling on the other side. So trying to get their resources in where they can. If Lucifer can keep this up, then this game can turn back around for touching grass.
Yeah, mid lane Soul Muncher's getting a little close to Mel. Beeson can't quite use the you don't want to use the reflect on that bandage toss from Amumu, because it also launches you closer. And yeah, that's Vi waiting on the wings in top lane. I don't think she's warded right now either, so this is going to be the first big gank here from Unreportably, which is not a great situation as a Vi. You don't want to hit level 8. You don't want to hit 13 minutes. And Nodo making sure this gank's going to work, going in on Lucifer. Lucifer getting half HP. Nodo trading it back quickly, but too much damage. Assault and battery, cease and desisted, detained, and gone. There's nowhere for you to go. The Rockets finally eat up by Hamilcar for his own support. Rubik's 2 shots left. That's all Trey needs, and can't quite find it into bot lane. They're playing this close. They're keeping it close, and it's starting to bleed a little more gold here.
Yeah, good guy Hamilcar there, realizing that as soon as Rubik's was low, that Jinx Rocket was going to come out, and the flash ahead from Moby White is going to be not enough, almost. So gets the flash out of him, so that's Flash and Ignite down on the Poppy, but almost gets the kill onto Rubik's after Hamilcar saved his life, so that would have been really sad if that happened for him. But they do get the turret as a consolation prize to end the tempo up on this game. They are tied for dragons, but they do have the grubs. And I do believe that that's Feats going over to the side of Miami Vice with that tower.
See the boots in the inventory, which is a big game, especially for the Poppy. Getting Swift March just as free access to even more damage on a champion that's already moving fast and already has a lot of damage. Renegade moving in, snaking their way up into top lane, has Spirit Rush, has Flash, has Charm, has everything they need to get out of Lucifer, but Lucifer playing around the minions well, just taking a lot of damage. Still the dive under threat. Rubik's moving top lane. Doesn't have the quickness off cooldown quite yet. Beeson knocking on the mid lane tower here. It's a 3v2 in the top lane once Poppy makes their way up here.
That is
Just
some
cleared
fancy
some
footwork
vision.
on Lucifer, though. Well played to get that charm to miss, but they're still.
Another one. Playing with fire, man. Getting really close.
I don't know if that one was on purpose, though.
Yeah, they're getting a little too close for comfort here for TG, but they understand they got to do something. You can't quite just lay over and die 15 minutes into the game. They're down about 3,500 gold, 3,000 gold, just dinging over now. You do kind of have to start making these bigger swings of plays, bigger risks coming through as Herald's going to get started up here by the side of Miami Vice. Unreportedly nowhere near this objective, so it's just going to be a root missed onto Renegade in the mid lane. Now Trey, Moby White here, maybe looking for a play into B-Sin, but it's a minute 34 Dragon. That's when we're going to see this next fight.
Yeah, more than likely, unless somebody oversteps here. The Mel does dish out a lot of damage, but just slowing it down is what Touching Grass need to do here, and they're doing it for the moment. But now we see Moby White smells blood. He wants it here. Get another kill for this Jinx. But it does look like Rubik's is going to keep these in at least safe enough for now. But we do see. Looks like they want to try. Yeah, Soul Muncher's coming over. It does look like they want to try to make this play before the dragon spawns.
They want to make it onto somewhere. Soul Muncher's moving their way towards top lane, finding out that there is there's Krugs up, and now finds the Bandage Charge toss onto Lucifer here, doing a lot of damage with Soul Muncher. Rubik's Cube gonna be the first one here. Bandage toss once again back in. Quickness gonna land onto its Curse this time on me. Locks on Lucifer for a second. Cubic able to find something, but Hamilcar finishes off Renegade, and Noto gonna fall as well. It's traded off into Lucifer. He dies, but it's a 3-for-1 for Touching Grass, and they're starting to make the plays they need to make.
Right, and we didn't even see the fight on the bot side. Hamilcar getting a solo kill. Big, because now the dragon is probably going to be theirs as long as they can get back here. But it does look like Moby is transitioning, trying to get the vision. Unreportedly is pushing into this tower. They're getting a little bit of this global gold back, but he does need the back because the dragon is coming up in 10 seconds. And at this rate, Soul Muncher is going to get there before him, as Moby White is going to try to kill Hamilcar here.
Be able to make it out here. You've got the rocket jumps. You've got no way to get out from here. Actually, never mind. This is a doom journey. Hamilcar. It's nice seeing you. The zap's gonna land. The push is gonna get a little closer. Soul Muncher picks up another kill onto Hamilcar. He's been struggling to find their footing in this game here as Dragon spawns.
Yeah, and B teleports to the bot side here, but Vi's on the top side. So were you doing that just to get pressure on the Ahri to defend the turret here? Like a little bit weird. Seems kind of like a misplay. Moby's just gonna zone off the two of them.
That TP didn't get stopped top lane there. Noto barely able to make it out into the TP bot lane, but isn't quite needed here. So I guess it's just free grain here for Lucifer to push another wave. And Noto getting mid priority here. Vi's on the backside of the fight. Once again, looking for a play onto here. Milkar's close. Granish is going to miss on a Noto. Noto able to pick up that first tower into here. Now, the target, quickness, assault and battery. Noto getting locked down, taking a lot of damage. Counter-Strike's going to use. They're staying alive for longer. Another Granish is going to miss onto Noto, but assault and battery keeps him there for a second. But the Jax, too tanky, too mobile. A leap strike out, and Noto is still alive.
Oh, very well played by Noto on this, Jax. That is almost as like caught out as you can be. You get the Rakan ult, the Vi ult, everybody's coming in on top of you, and then just getting out with like half health, like almost ready to turn that back around if there was anybody else besides just the Jinx there. So really well played by Noto on this, Jax, to get out of that.
Well played by Noto to get out, and I'm pretty sure cease and desist, the Vialt was still up that entire time because we haven't seen it used in like 2.5 minutes.
Oh, I thought he
So
used it there. I guess that was just the Rakan ult.
it's just there was the Rakan alts, two W's missed from Rakan, and then one assault and battery got used, and so it's just another bad situation where I need to see a little more from Unreportably. I need to see them burn some abilities, and Trey's gonna get engaged on a little bit by Hamilcar. It's a half HP Trey. Jinx in the mid lane getting chunked out now. Moby White is here trying to find Lucifer, but able to snap back into somewhat safety. But you can see Soul Muncher on the backside of the fight has Curse of the Sad Mummy as well. This Yone has been marked for death. Can he make it out? Can he cheat? Can he make it out? Fate sealed onto Poppy. They're trying to find the kill. Lucifer flashing on a Moby, forces it as well. And in the bot lane, Rubik's going to engage, trying to look for a cross map play now as Poppy's gone. So Lucifer clearing the waves, stunned, locked down, Curse the Sad Mummy, he's gone. Noto picks it up, and Ahri still alive. Noto DC'd. He's going to die to tower.
Oh no, that is so unfortunate. At first I thought he was just BMing, but no, he DCs, and here comes the pause. That feels so bad. That was so well executed. 2.5 man dive there on the side of Miami Vice. Lucifer, if he still had his ult, probably could have gotten out of that, but he really, really wanted the Poppy, so he ult and flash him to try to kill her. Doesn't get it, and then Soul Muncher was just ready for him when he came back. And very well played. Unfortunate DC timing. You just kind of die there. I don't know what else you can do about that except for say, my bad. I hate Comcast.
Yeah, you blame your ISP and you move on, sadly. But important there, I think, like, I'm gonna give a benefit of the doubt of, I imagine what Lucifer is trying to do there is they realize he's getting communication from his team. Hey, Amumu's not anywhere close to bot side because you could see
Mhm.
Unreportably was like pushing a little bit into the enemy jungle, trying to find some sort of angle onto Ahri here in the bot lane. That's the fight that Rubik's tried to start with quickness and flash, it seems. But unable to find that pick here. As Otacon's going to start up here. It's 10,000 HP. Soul Muncher moving from base at that tier 3. It's a race against time here for Miami Vice to try and trade this back and to find the Charmander. Reportedly, the damage is going to go down, but the Cease and Disc going through. Ahri can't flash out, cannot move. The Bouncy Castle has a new passenger, and it's Ahri. She's dead. Otacon getting started up once again. It's just Soul Muncher here on Vision and just elects to give it over, touching grass, clawing their way back in as we get the secondary pause.
Yeah, and kind of a little bit of an overplay from Renegade. You get the charm on, but as soon as that charm was down, they're like, all right, well, we're just gonna go. It's almost like they were waiting for it to turn onto him. They knew that Amumu had the back after that dive, so they get the kill onto the Ahri. They're gonna get this bot turret, and they get the Otacon. Huge swing of momentum for touching grass here, as they're gonna claw their way back to a 2.5 gold deficit, just a little bit under 2.3. So they are on their way back into this game. The only problem is they still have not touched this Jinx yet.
Still not touching this Jinx, still not really finding a way to deal with the Amumu or the Poppy other than just kind of being away from them. And they're starting to become issues. Amumu so freeing in this game because of the AD damage being kind of low from touching grass, right? You haven't seen Vi do a whole lot of anything. If you're a Mumu here, Yone is building double kind of defensive items at this point. Tristana not tanky enough, so you can opt into that Abyssal Mask and just empower your Ahri even more, empower yourself even more. But if you're that Tristana, if you're that Vi, if you're that Yone, hey, that's a red flag. That guy kind of pops like a balloon, and you've got the needle that you need. You just got to find him.
Yeah, and to his credit, Trey's been doing a really good job of keeping himself safe, of playing behind that Poppy, as we see Yon coming in here. Lucifer ult, but gets Renegade's ult basically traded.
Yeah, just traded out one for one of the ultimates. Renegade gonna have it first because of the malignants in their inventory, but it's kind of just an ult for ult trade. You take it, especially if you're the champion with lifesteal in your inventory. So not the end of the world trade here as Lucifer is coming to the mid lane, has the knock up on a trade. You're going to try and find it. It's going to be able to find it. And the bomb. Trey flashes away. Barrier saves their life just barely. Hamilcar couldn't find the kill. Alt still in the inventory. Maybe wanted to take back that buster shot, wanting to use it. But Touching Grass find the kill, or at least the advantage they need here as Miami Vice feeling under pressure. It's 15 seconds here before the dragon, and Touching Grass control the river.
Yeah, they control it for now, but Trey is on his way back, and even though they burnt everything to try to get to him, he is still
Oh, Charms been found. They didn't know the bush was warded, and that's the flash. The curse of the Sad Mummy's used in the back line, and the Jinx rocket burns Lucifer solo. He has to get out, run early, gonna fall. Noto picks up the kill, able to get out of the play is Lucifer, but not for long. Rubix has to flash away, and that's the not for long. Cashed in. Soul Muncher found the bandage toss they need. Noto couldn't close the distance. The knock away with the hammer keeps Mel alive for a second, and a good charm to Hamilcar, a good spirit rush into the towers. Hamilcar gonna finally die. It's traded off by B-Sin under their own tower, but 4 for 1. B-Sin getting chased by Poppy. Should get delivered another kill here in a second, if not for the rest of Miami Vice being here to save the Poppy.
Right there, that's like when you get too comfortable in the death bushes, but you forget that they can be warded as well. They had no sweepers up at the time, and at that point, maybe not the best place to be sitting. You do know that that's a highly contested ward spot, so a little bit of a misplay from Touching Grass. They just got caught with their pants down there, but as they regroup, they still should know that they are still kind of in control of this. Jinx, even though she hasn't died yet, is only 203. Hamilcar has been dishing out a lot of damage on this Tristana, so they are still in the game. They just have to be a little bit more cognizant of like where they are and what they could possibly be standing on.
You've got to start buying pinks, and Rakan had one in their inventory that whole time. I don't know where it was. The actual one was, so I'm hoping they had one on the map, but it's probably worth it to move it anyway if you're gonna try and death push like that. So I do agree. You kind of need to keep everything warded up, especially in high contested areas like entrance into river, like banana brush around there. And it's costing Touching Grass every little bit of gold that they clawed back over the last 7 minutes or so. It's gone in an instant again, and once again battling on the back foot here. They've been doing fine recovering, but when it's showtime, they've really been struggling here. So they're going to try and find Moby White. Greenwich is going to go wide. Lucifer and Rubix taking a little bit of extra damage here from the Baron. Rubix can't quite get over the wall. Does have Grand Entrance again, so it's okay, but Baron just pumping a little bit of damage here into Moby.
Yeah, but he's a Poppy. He can take it. As it looks like they're going to try to keep going in on this, as Rubix might be caught out here.
Oh, Noto couldn't find the stun, and beautiful Buster Shot keeps running it out. Fate sealed, a little miscommunicated. Lucifer takes a lot of damage going into the play, flashes away into the rocket. Rubik's next target for the side of Miami Vice, and Zap gonna get blocked by Hamilcar. Rocket jump to get out of there. Now Vi here, cease and desist. Mel on the flank, trying to find the damage, trying to find the moves, but there's nowhere for you to go. It's Vi falling. Another wave here, as the end calls might not come through yet, but Baron for sure in Miami Vice's sights.
Yeah, and if Lucifer would have waited 3 seconds, B-Sin had a perfect flank to come in on. He did actually hit his ult on like 3 people, got them all grouped up. If B-Sin's there, that could have been a one fight, but unfortunately, just a little bit too quick to pull the trigger on this Yone for Lucifer, and they paid for it with the Baron more than likely. They may try to get a fight after this. They do have all their damage.
Like a 900 smite there is now Milkcar. It's a 4v5 right now. You can see, though, the HP bar is quite low for Miami Vice. It's in your vested interest to try and stop these backs. Try, as your TG, make something happen here. And B-Sin reflected the wrong ability. The curse of the Sad Mummy cutting down the rest of Touching Grass here as it's Lucifer limping away from the fight. A big mistake by B-Sin there. Cost TG their lives and cost them any chance at stopping this Baron.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. That's like that's why they say Leona's such a good counter, because you could just pull yourself in. He basically blitzcranked himself into the curse of the Sad Mummy. Lucifer followed up, Lucifer followed up, did get out, but then it was just too late. The entire team just goes down for TG, and it looks like Miami Vice is just smelling the end of this game right here. As Jax teleports to the mid, he is going to have to deal with the buy, but him and Renegade should be able to
So much damage with
this
the
on. Oh,
demolish, yeah, and that comes through the cease and desist. Noto gonna get knocked up by Rakan here. One man root from Beeson here keeps Noto to go through stasis. They've got the stopwatch in the inventory. There is Rubik's taking so much damage. Another bandage toss, another rocket unreportedly has to flash out. Too much damage expected. Mel gonna find Noto here, but it's 2 towers gone. Fate Sealed goes on a Renegade, but he's able to go golden as well. Lucifer taking a lot of damage from Poppy, able to get out Rubik's. Now the next target, he's been diving. He's quickness. He's dancing around. Unreportedly now has Jinx in her sights, and he's going to fall again. Jinx, reset, Trey, dodging everything. He's got the fancy feet, and B-Sin can't trade it back. Rubik's, Lucifer, B-Sin, you got to save the game for TG, but too many Curse the Sad Mummies. It's too many stuns. It's too much damage. You've lost too much. Lucifer trades one back before TG fall, and they lose the game to Miami Vice, going down 1-1.
Wow, what a comeback. We talked about it at the end of game 1. What are you going to do next game? They actually left the K'Sante up, but they ended up going for the Yone in the top lane into the Jax, and Lucifer that time just caught out too much by Soul Muncher. It's almost like they were listening to the cast. Just go top and get him tilted. So really, really well played on the side of Miami Vice here to just kind of take that game into their hands from level 1. This Poppy did so much work. It was really good to see Moby White on this champion, and just what he did into a comp with 4 dashes if you include the young, like, just really, really well played. That was support MVP all the way.
It was a big support MVP. Moby White coming up huge, especially after last game where like, oh, you're kind of invisible on this Milio here. The Poppy reminding us that once again there is in fact 5 people on the Miami Vice team, and a big kind of question mark here for touching grass going into this next game is unreportedly just invisible on this Vi. This is a champion you really need to be pressuring early. You need to be pressuring often. You need to be finding as many gank opportunities as you can, and just failed to really create anything until like level 8, level 9 even, and that's just not setting you off on the right foot. It's leaving your laners out to dry, and you can see how much they struggled with that. So for TG, focusing on making sure they can get unreportedly on a comfortable jungler and putting themselves in a good spot here. For Miami Vice, keep up the work, keep Soul Muncher on this Amumu, I guess, and keep Moby White on something that can roam around the map, because Trey was perfectly safe on their own. And we'll see how these teams solve these issues here after this break going into game 3.
Side to side, without you by my side, my side, my side, without you by my side. One time from side to side. Peekaboo, I see you. Peekaboo, I see you. looking at me, looking at you. Hold up, where you going? What you doing? Who you seeing? What you need? What you want? I said, without you by my side, my side, my side. Without you by my side. One time from side to side. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. One time from side to side. slip in your chest. I want to forget it, take a breath and leave you away, away. But it's not that easy, 'cause you make me miss you again, again. If you want, just come. If you want, just come. Don't leave me again, leave me again. If you want, just come. If you want, just come. Don't leave me again, leave me again. Leave me There's no time for regret, but I remember how I slept in your chest. I want to forget it, take a breath and leave you away, away. But it's not that easy, 'cause you make me miss you again, again. If you want, just come. If you want, just come. Don't leave me again, leave me again. If you want, just come. If you want, just come. Don't leave me again, leave me again.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes. to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
And we are back here. Game 3 draft just getting started between Touching Grass and Miami Vice. You can see there Miami Vice winning out the game, giving Touching Grass the side selection. So once again, back to the ever loved, ever prioritized blue side. And I don't expect any ban changes through this, but anything that you think need to get adjusted here, Fel, before you go into the...
Yeah, I think that Touching Grass's whole team concept needs to get changed back to what was working in game one. They need to go tanky, they need to go CC heavy, and they need to be in their face. As we do see one ban change, and that's the Amumu. Even in the win, Amumu was a huge pain in their rear ends in game one. So taking that away from Soul Muncher, making him play something else that's not Hecarim as well as the Jinx being forced away. We do know Hamilcar is really good on that. We just saw what Trey can do with it. So, and the Mundo. So kind of the same, but they're leaving the Sivir open for Hamilcar, which I'm hoping and praying that he doesn't play it. But we'll see. He does like it. As it comes in first pick. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Now you've got the stage here. Why you've been hating on this for a while? I'm not a big fan of Hamilcar on it either, but why do you hate it so like vocally?
I think just in this setting for Hamilcar especially, he's a very good ADC, and I think that Sivir takes away a lot of his playmaking ability. We saw it on the Caitlyn, we saw it even on the Tristana, where he almost killed the Jinx a whole bunch of times, had a solo kill on the Ahri. Having him on champions that can just play a little bit better, and for some reason they keep going back to it. The other reason is, in most games that we're streaming for Touching Grass, the rest of his team are behind. And then when your team is behind and your whole front line is falling apart in front of you, Sivir just doesn't have enough to keep him doing the damage that he needs to do. That's the main reason.
To catch up with the rest of the draft, Miami Vice getting Zeri, Seraphine bot lane, and Viego jungle locked in. Aggressive jungler. It's the second most played from Soul Muncher, but it's a far cry in terms of win rate compared to the rest of the junglers on their own. It's actually a negative win rate in terms of their solo queue games. So ideally, we can hear that, by the way. It's a better pick for Touching Grass here, and they're going to go for the Sejuani. Still no melee champion locked up for them, though. They're going to go with the Lulu support to help the Sivir, so no melee champion to assist the Sejuani yet, and the Yone off the table, one of the premier ones you see with that Sejuani. So maybe going back to that tried and true Cassante, maybe something else in the works here for Touching Grass.
Yeah, I think they do still need some beefiness. I wouldn't hate to see B-Sin on like a Galio or something. It does have a lot of playmaking ability and can work really well with the Sejuani, with the Lulu, and keeping Sivir alive. Being a huge frontline, but he's going to get to play against his best champ. We're going to see Renegade on the Azir, and we're going to see B-Sin having to play into one of his favorite champs.
Having to play into one of his favorite champions, so that should mean ideally you have a great idea on how to counter it, and there's one of the melee champions we need from Touching Grass to make the Sejuani work. Mbessa coming through, one of the better blinds that we've had for the last, God, it's almost been a year since she's been out, I'm pretty sure. She's just been so hard for anyone to deal with her. It's felt like a year at least. And Akali going to be B-Sin's option unless they do some shenanigans. I highly doubt that Akali's going top lane. I imagine it's going mid lane. It's going to go against that Azir and try and kill it as much as possible. Malphite, the last lock in here for Miami Vice. The AD tank of the Sentry, and a very obvious go button.
Yeah, I like Miami Vice's draft. I would have rather seen him transition into another tank in the jungle. I feel like the Viego is a comfort pick. But as we've seen, if he falls behind, if he doesn't start getting his resets, then it can be really, really bad for him. But I'm interested to see what Trey can do on the Zeri. We've seen when he gets a champion that he gets, showcase his fingers on, that he's really good. So the Zeri is a really good pick along with the Seraphine. Into the Sivir Lulu, they're going to have a little bit more range on the support, but less on the AD. Interested to see how this matchup goes. And then if Viego is going to be sitting up topside against this Mbessa, we'll have a little bit of chance to get away. Probably a little bit more than the Yone did with all of her dashes, but I do like Miami Vice's comp a little bit better.
Yeah, I like what they've got going in terms of the obvious engage, but from Touching Grass, they've got a lot of options now. It's just going to kind of be about first, unreportedly, can they frontline properly as the Sejuani? They really need to exist. We're going to be popping into the game here, but just for a second, I get to kind of talk a little bit about kind of what Mbessa and Akali, once again, the champions, are mixed around. Thank you, Riot. But with that being said, there's a very strong chance here that Touching Grass over dive and get a little overzealous with their champions. The Akali and Mbessa, very known for getting super deep. And what happens when it's the rest of the dive, the Viego, the Malphite, the Seraphine ult, and the Azir all come and dive onto just that one little sliver. Can the Sejuani and the Lulu really be enough? And we'll have to see if that's the case
Nodo's
here.
gonna
As an
get caught
invade
here.
starts up, Nodo is going to come into first contact with the ball and just flashes away from Miami Vice, losing their top laner Flash and Touching Grass here, getting some vision, getting some priority, but already getting returned.
Yeah, that is a huge summoner early on for this Malphite. He's going to need that. It's going to be interesting to see how he does fare into the Ambessa, who will be able to catch him. His Q is not going to be as good as it would against most melee champions. So we'll see if Lucifer can use that to his advantage and get like an early kill on this Ambessa. So uh, really, really unfortunate flash there for Nodo. And also, he's going to have no ward coverage on this top side. Unless Soul Muncher does a quick clear and gets a ward for him, Unreportable Lee's going to have a free reign to come up to this top lane and punish this Malphite.
Yeah, and we really do need to see that. That was something that lacked from Touching Grass's game last in game two, was really just not having an early jungler like at all. And Portably was really just farming, trying to get to 6, and then couldn't find any opportunity, couldn't create any opportunity either. And it really did just kind of make the game so much harder for TG to get through that early game. But now all of a sudden they've got a lot more options in lane, just as many as last game, in fact, if not more, especially if you're looking towards mid lane. Akali, generally one of these champions you want to see try and get kills at level 6 or before level 6 or like around level 9 as well, as kind of these big spikes for her, and already starting to put in some work in mid lane.
Oof. Yeah, Beeson knows how to play into the Azir, so we'll see if that goes into his advantage or not. As we see Lucifer and Nodo still trading back, both getting their grass procs in. Lucifer trying to push this wave. I'm going to be interested to see if Sejuani forgoes her blue side and then just goes straight into a gank onto the Viego in his jungle. They should know that he's pathing that way. So with this wave pressure, getting an early kill onto the Viego is an extreme possibility if they play this that way. But
Yeah,
it does look
could-
like Sejuani's just kind of going to her
Yeah, just
jungle. This is
going through the motions and down a camp already onto Soul Muncher is just clearing so much faster on the Viego. Now, naturally, kind of does just clear really fast on the champion in general. But this is going to create a kind of a weird opportunity here where of Lucifer is going to get stuck in this spot. They're going to get stuck just in front of the enemy tower. You can already see they're camping in that bush. We're not panning there quite yet because they're not trading quite yet. But you can see on that map as Soul Muncher gets slowly closer and closer and closer, Lucifer kind of has that timer, needs to crash this wave or it's going to get stuck here. And it's going to be a gank opportunity for Soul Muncher.
Yeah, and I don't know if he can see that Viego Shroud coming through on that other side. Probably not, but I'd be calling for my Sejuani, being like, hey, come on, let's go. I'm going to push this and I'll be at the scuttle, or we know he's going to be here. We're waiting for this 2v2. So we'll see what ends up happening with this, as it does look like the Viego's going to pull the trigger here.
Is here, is trying to find the Son of Lucifer, able to
and-
dodge it for now. Good shield. Conquer getting stacked
There it
up.
is.
Not quite, actually. It's onto Viego. Soul Muncher has to get out of there. Lucifer is grasped, so longer trade's not good, and that's a lot of healing off that one auto. Keeps him alive and keeps Soul Muncher having to reset, actually. It could be a double grab opportunity.
Right, and not only just that, he didn't flash. He actually dashed in between the Viego, saw him the last second. Really well played by Lucifer, and having the Sejuani there to back him up this time instead of doing what was happening last game, where unreportedly was just non-existent. He's there, and we're seeing the fruits of that play call now come through, as Malphite's going to have to take a back and TP, and he's going to be able to catch the wave probably before the cannon, but good tempo play by Lucifer and good job getting out of there.
freaking barely missing on a Renegade there,
Mhm.
as he's starting to get really pressured in this matchup. Akali going up farm now, which is very, very important because typically when you're in these melee into range matchups, you're supposed to go down farm, but you're accepting that as like, okay, I'm going to go down farm, but I'm going to trade that farm for HP onto my target. Now, that trade's not having to be made here by Beeson at all, and they don't have mana either, so that's not a concern. But most importantly here, the resets coming on through. First one starting to come through, especially by these junglers. And see Sejuani opting in the Giant Spell. Hopefully, if it's another rush of Heartsteel, that they get more stacks on it going early.
Yeah, 2 stacks in 12 minutes is not what you're going for. I do feel that Sejuani's a little bit better at sticking than the Mundo and closing the gap. So should be okay here on this to go for the heart steal and get it going. But yeah, pretty just well played by both teams right now to just sort of keep this game where it's at, as we see the Chain Vest coming in for the Malphite. He has hit 6 before Lucifer, but I don't think that he has the damage to be able to try to put any kill pressure here. Um, Neither team
Shocked.
seems to be trying to get the early dragon, even though Hamilcar on this Sivir is able to push this wave.
I'm always shocked by Malphite damage, so I'm very scared every time I see a Malphite, and it's like, okay, I don't want to confidently say that he doesn't have kill threat here, and I kind of agree. He doesn't necessarily have the threat right now, but one more short trade will be
Hamilcar is
enough. And
coming in.
Lucifer is
He's
going to
gonna
trade into
ult.
Nodo. Public Execution is here. Nodo ulting out of the play. Big burn there. A little laugh on that. But so much are not in position to punish this. So Lucifer and unreportedly could look for the regank and maybe blow Nodo's flash again just before this dragon gets started up.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see Viego go straight to this dragon here. But the problem is, and this is one of the good things about Sivir, is that they're not going to be able to get this pressure on the wave to push it out. So it will be at the very least a 3v3, if not a 4v4. But Beeson putting a lot of damage on the Renegade here.
A lot of damage on a Renegade's getting traded back. Just a little bit extra, but Akali still has that regen Sorkpen boots too to be able to get out of the Sand Soldier auto faster. Big thing though, Soulmonger dinging over into level 6, very far ahead. Now the perfect execution coming through from Beeson. It's enough. Renegade flashes. It wasn't enough. There was no Q to follow up from Beeson there. And not enough is the name of the game, and Renegade flashed to make it out of the play, but still alive.
Yeah, that is 3 super close fights that we've seen now. 2 1v1s and then a couple in the top lane with the original gank by Soul Muncher on this Viego, and then almost the turn by Sejuani and Ambesses. Ambesses just punishing this Malphite here. Um, Seems like she's a lot more comfortable to be able to get more of these grass procs. By the end of this game, I'd be interested to see what the number is
-1.
between these two. Yep. Uh, but she's definitely getting more of the procs off. Um, and Nodo's going to have to back here as he's completely out of mana and he's not going to be able to deal with this Lucifer anymore, who has teleport advantage to come into here.
Yeah, Lucifer's
we see-
teleport advantage, has that wave too, and Nodo is going to be dropping a lot of farm here. Now, typically, Malphites are okay with doing that, and Nodo's up farm as well, and was slightly up XP, so it's not the end of the world to lose this wave. They're going to go about even on this and actually have a little bit of a stronger back right now in that moment. But speaking of nothing at all, no one's speaking of it, but objectives are starting to spawn here, and both teams really do need to start thinking about them. It's 8 minutes, 8:15, 9 minutes crossing over here. No Dragon's been starting, no Grub's been starting on both teams. Starting to get a little antsy. Beeson moving on a Renegade, has a level lead, has a lot of damage so far on a Renegade. He's going to go half HP, and Moby White on the rotate. Getting poked out by unreportedly, and Nodo moving down after pushing top wave.
Yeah, and it looked like Miami Vice was thinking, oh, they're going to go Dragon, let's just go to the Grubs. But instead, Touching Grass, they want to fight over these Grubs. They want to get these early game skirmishes where they have an Ambessa with the lead, or not a lead, but more damage and the wave push, and then Akali winning in the mid lane here. So it does look like they're going to pull the trigger on this. They're going to try to get this going, and
Moby
Soul
White
Muncher in the
has to
back lane just steals one.
yeah,
What a play. I love that.
steals one away after Moby White got turned on to Lucifer moving up is here. Noto and Soul Muncher, the 2-man of the century. Heartbreaker cutting down Lucifer now. Those grubs starting to look a lot more in favor of Miami Vice, and a good encore. That's not an encore. Actually, that's the encore. Rubik's getting low. Run reportedly gonna fall. Renegade has so much damage on the rotate. Perfect execution used by Beeson. It's the first part. Second part's gonna come through. Finds Renegade. Heartbreaker used. So much closing the distance. Stun's gonna land on a Beeson. Able to walk out of the play for now. He might trying to look for the re-engage on a Malphite, but misses the shuriken flip, and it's just gonna end.
Yeah, well played by Miami Vice to realize that they had the numbers where they wanted them, and Lucifer just kind of caught out trying to flank, but was just isolated on his own little water island there. And you see the power of the Malphite and the Viego at the same time, just able to take him out. Maybe it would have been better for Touching Grass to just try to push for the dragon.
Yeah, they just aren't. It's specifically, you mentioned like, oh, Lucifer's in a good spot on the Mbessa. Yeah, he's got a lot of damage, but typically that comes from items. You usually want 1 to 2 items on this Mbessa to really have damage. You can see this trading is going in favor of Lucifer instantly, but Noto just autos a couple times and it's getting matched out. Now Lucifer extending the trade a little bit, has it reportedly to make sure this trade is still a 1v1, and Noto has the flash to dodge out an ultimate from unreportedly, so it's fake. But no dragon startup again. 11 minutes over into this game. This is going to be a longer one.
Yeah, I think so. It just seems like they're trying to make up for last game. They want to get Lucifer empowered on the Zambessa, but just not happening the way that they want it to. It's almost like they're forcing it a little bit too much. You got him safe. You got him, comfortable in the lane. You still need to get the objectives in other spots. You do have a bot lane that can basically push a wave faster than anybody else. So maybe start going over for those, and then take some attention over into the blue side jungle to get your lead there. But just trying to push this Lucifer, wanted him to go in what he was doing in game 1, but it's just not working out just yet for Touching Grass.
Not working out just yet, but hold on, Beeson. Interesting Emperor's Divide there from Renegade. I like the look there, but a big thing here is we kind of mentioned Hamilcar struggling to find their footing on the Sivir. They are farming a lot better and looking a lot more confident than previous weeks with the Sivir, and gives Touching Grass here some sort of late game kind of objective to play around. You've got this really fed Sivir, but unreportedly he's here trading with Soul Muncher per public execution onto Noto here in the top lane. Noto's going to take a couple tower shots here as Lucifer is extending the trade a little longer. Now Lucifer going to miss. Lucifer fighting topside and reportedly going to miss the ult. Soul Muncher has to Heartbreaker out. Moby White has already ulted. It was just off camera there, and it must have missed then. So no Seraphine. I confuse those two champions all the time. I'm sorry. But just Dragon started up from TG here.
Yeah, and it should be free. This is what they should have done the first time. And they're making up for it now. Noto took a ton of damage, but on this Malphite, as we see, like still kind of healthy. Lucifer just doing his best to sort of keep his grass procs going right now. Will be able to do a little bit more once he gets his Eclipse, and he'll be able to trade for free. As Viego's coming up onto this top side, we might see another gank over from Soul Muncher to try to get this, but Noto does have no ult right now. I think he had to burn it to get away from Lucifer the first time. So we'll see if he can try to bait Lucifer into a bad play here. It looks like he's trying to.
Noto's keeping up the charade for long enough, and here's Soul Muncher. Stun's gonna land onto Lucifer. Lucifer quite low, and there's no sustain that you can keep you alive from a fed Viego, and he's just able to pick up another kill, knocking onto the door, going back to the well, and it's Lucifer kind of back to doing what we've been used to seeing throughout the weeks.
Oh, yeah, he's got
Close.
a ton of damage on the Kali.
Yeah, so does Renegade. Just trade get back so fast onto Beeson.
And as we're looking around now, it's a 2K gold lead on the side of Miami Vice. They do have the just missing his leads everywhere, but he's just a little bit too late or a little bit too far away every time, unfortunately. He's trying to be more proactive like he was in game 1, but it's just not working out for him right now. But yeah, we see a 2K gold lead on the side of Miami Vice. They do have the grubs. They missed the first dragon, so we're gonna be looking for touching grass. Should be trying to get the next monster feat and push this bot wave in and try to get this first tower.
There's still a long way to go before they're able to make that happen. And Beason's going to try and go into Renegade again. Emperor's Ride's going to get used under the tower. Beason, alt 1 to get out. Public execute. Perfect execution has been used. And still got that second part there in inventory to clear the wave. And Lucifer now starting to fall behind against the Malphite. It's not ideal. It's kind of what you expect if you've been watching enough Malphite. But it just always sucks to see the Embesses fall behind.
Yeah, and I think it's more to do with the fact that he is
Soldier?
so
Back
much
mid lane.
game.
Just
Free
picking
kill.
up a... It's a janitor. He's got that
Yeah.
like wet floor sign out there afterwards.
Yeah, you got the kill. Take the kill and back, but he tried to push the wave in to make Renegade lose a little more, but pays for it with his life. The whole one more wave.
Taken out, and that's a Herald's taken up by TG, so they're 2 on the board now for the feat of monster killing, which is putting them in a good spot. Of course, they got to finish up the first tower in order to claim the actual complete feats of strength, and Lucifer's just getting auto to death by Nodo. A lot of damage coming out from this Malphite now all of a sudden. Lucifer just cannot keep up.
Now, and he has the Eclipse, but these extended trades are what's killing him right now. And as you were saying before with the CS differential, it almost feels like Lucifer is more concentrated on trying to keep the wave push than he is on last hitting, and I think that's kind of screwing him over a little bit.
It's costing so much.
It is, yeah, and it's unfortunate because you're like, ah, man, I feel like I'm winning the lane. How am I? How am I not up in CS right now? But well, we'll see if he can keep it up. It'll get easier for him the last hit as he gets more items. There's another ult coming on to the Malphite, stuck under the turret again, and Sejuani's coming up as well. Malphite does have flash ult himself.
Could be the pickup that they need. There is the big ultimate for Nodo to get out of there, and it's followed up with a stun. Lucifer, it's under the tower. They're flashing to the tower. Nodo going to respond unkind. He's 1 HP. Unreportedly has to get away, and Lucifer able to pick up the shutdown and makes it out alive with the shield. Now Soul Muncher has the opportunity. Rubik's half HP. Himmelkar, no mana. They've got all the abilities. That is 4 people bot lane. They want to dive. They want to make someone pay for losing their top laner here, and Beason's here to respond in kind, and Himmelkar is going to go a little too far forward. Empress Divide going to get shielded, so not used. Beautifully done there from Himmelkar. Knocks away the engage that Renegade found. They're safe again for another wave.
Yeah, and also really well played by Renegade to not do that and use that and have that still on cooldown as we see the first turret going down, and Dragon's going to be up in 30 seconds. It looks like top and jungle are going to back here, and they're going to be ready to fight for this and try to contest this Dragon. If they can get this, that will score the feats for them, and they'll be able to get the empowered boots on the side of touching grass. And if you're Miami Vice, you got to get this Dragon. So this should be highly contested. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, importantly, Miami Vice still needs one more to get the feats of strength, so it's technically a give angle if you want it to be from touching grass here, but I imagine they really don't want to give it away. They don't want to give any sort of early game advantage. And another Emperor's Bind on the tower. Beeson gonna flash out. Public execution gonna get used. Perfect execution of the tower. And Beeson picks up. It's a 1-for-1 in Seraphine. Moby White, one last auto to pick up Beeson under the tower. As Nodo here is just letting the minions do the work on that top tier 1 as Lucifer struggling to match that wave clear from Malphite. Walking down here. It's got to be given here. Another dragon going to go towards Miami Vice this series.
No, they're pulling off of it. They're going to try to catch these guys over here.
All they want, unreportedly, he's got the flash. Good use of it and good mention on there. They pulled away from the dragon, but there's no one to contest this now. Yeah, they've got it. It's another dragon.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising because Lucifer does have his ult, does have a TP to come down here, and one big thing that's missing is the Encore from Seraphine, so they could have pulled the trigger on this and taken this fight as a 4v4 with no Seraphine ult, so it's interesting to see them just hesitate a little bit on that. I'm kind of surprised they didn't take the fight there.
I'm not too shocked because if you try and fight there, you're also dealing with the same Fed Malphite. And if you look at a lot of the damage makeup, at least in that fight from TG, it's all AD. That's plated steel caps. That's Sunfire. That's Bramble Vest, all finished up by that Malphite. Yes,
Yeah.
that's not even the big target you have to focus. Soul Muncher is still there, 1.5 items at that point. Nasher's completed on Renegade, who was dead. Trey's got 1 item on the Zeri. It's just too much damage for them to deal with, and there's not enough tank in the front line quite yet from TG here. But once Lucifer picks up that second or third item, once Sivir's really got item, maybe Infinity Edge finished up here, which looks like that's going to be the second item finished up, really those bounces are going to start dealing a lot of damage.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, at this point, Malphite is becoming that. How do we deal with this kind of guy? And then Viego is slowly like, I know early on a lot of it was on him and what he was doing, but like he's been quietly just farming up, getting a huge CS lead over this Sejuani, and he's 3-on-1 now, and it doesn't seem like it because it's 4-5 right now, but a lot of money is invested in this Viego on the side of Miami Vice, so that's an easy target for TG. If they can try to catch him out, that could be huge for them.
They're starting to make calls. They're at least going to drop this Herald towards the tower. I believe it's just going to get stopped, though. So damage onto tier 1 here for Touching Grass. Once again, just inches to try and add up their advantage back into this game. Most of that gold advantage, like you mentioned, is pretty much just on that Viego and Malphite, kind of that top 2v2.
Kali caught out here.
Kali is a little bit caught out by Noto. Is going to get ulted by the Malphite, knocked up, rooted, slowed, but able to make their way out of the play. Bisindo, one shot. Trey sticks there like glue. Heal to make it out of the fight. It's another kill fallen towards Miami Vice and picked up by Trey.
Yeah, I'd be interested to what the communication was on that for Bsin. Like, what is he doing up there? You had Hamilcar pushed into the turret. No Lulu, nobody else there to help with the warding. So that was just kind of interesting to be there. Is now the Otacon's going to go over to the side of Miami Vice. I don't think there's going to be any contention for this, and they're just going to take tier 2. But they're going to lose the feats. Oh, never mind. Ambessa's teleporting in here, and we have a fight on our hands.
So Trez 2001, 46 HP on the smite there. It's picked up by Small Soul Muncher, but a big knock-up starts off the fight here. Lucifer trying to do something. That's the damage you're looking for. Hamilcar finally here, ready to start autoing, start dealing some damage. It's getting chased down. Miami Vice got the objective, but they're getting cut down. It's a shutdown claimed by unprobatably Bsin here. Perfect execution. Shutdown claimed onto Trey. Bsin making up for the early mistakes in mid lane, but speaking of mid lane, Renegade picks up another tower here for the side of Miami Vice.
Yeah, so you basically get a tower and Otacon for a couple kills. I mean, if you're Miami Vice and you get caught like that, like you'll take that every time, right? Like, oh, we had a couple people die, but we got huge objective here. Renegade caught out. Is it gonna be enough? Yeah, they're gonna kill out under this turret.
Tempest Divide to the towers. Burn now. A TP's coming through this tower. Is going to die. It's Malphite here. Could try and make this play work. Moby White doesn't have Encore yet, and Noto has the ultimate, but just gonna like to let them go. It's another tower claimed for Touching Grass here, as they've got almost all of the tier 1s gone. Bsin knocking on that mid lane there. It's gonna get stopped here from Soul Muncher. But a big tier 2 take. Yes. Touching Grass clawing back.
Yeah, and not only are they clawing back, they have a kill lead and they have a gold lead now. It's only 1200, but it's still a lead nonetheless. And Bsin's starting to pop off on this. Their bot lane is 0-0-9 together. So as always, Touching Grass's bot lane is just doing their own thing and staying in and not giving a lead over to Trey, as we've seen what he can do when given one. So good job on the side of Touching Grass to just kind of play this the best that they can. Lucifer looking like he wants to do something here along with Sedge.
Soul Muncher gonna get caught out. Found the bush that Lucifer and unreportedly are in here. Encore's gonna land only on a Sejuani. Stun traded. Soul Muncher not able to make it out. Moby White picked up by the public execution. Trey and Soul Muncher not able to get away. Bsin picks up Moby. Soul Muncher flashed on by unreportedly. There's nowhere for you to go for Miami Vice. You sprung the trap. You pay the consequence. It's a double kill to Bsin.
Yeah, and they were just trying to take the scuttle and get vision themselves. That's so sad, right? You're just like, ah, there's nobody here. They have a 1.5 man death bush, and they pull that off. And then you have the rest of the team coming around from the mid side, top side of the river there, and just perfect execution of like a good start, a good flank. And even though Seraphine got the encore off, it was only on to the Sejuani, and Soul Muncher was already ulted up by the Sejuani as well. So it was kind of a nil for nil ults there. So good play by Touching Grass to just kind of get that one going and get the momentum going a little bit further in their favor. After they lost the Otacon, it has been all Touching Grass since then.
They've been really confidently coming back here. And speaking of confidence, Noto going on to Hamilcar, able to stay alive somehow without Rubik's. Hamilcar makes it out of the play. There was not enough damage onto him from someone.
Yeah, and Trey was there. That's got to feel so bad when, like when you're playing an engaged tank like Malphite and you're just like, I got this. And then you guys didn't kill him. I ulted. So,
oh, Renegade picked off just barely by the perfect execution there from Bsin. It's another pickup onto this Azir. 1-5. Renegade's really been struggling, even with all that help onto Bsin from the junglers.
yeah, and this is just kind of getting away from them. They had the plan in place. They were doing it well. Malphite was soaking up all the jungle pressure from early on, and now that the jungle pressure is away from there and they're just all sort of left to their own devices, this just isn't going well for Miami Vice. It almost seems like they just don't have an answer for anything that Touching Grass is doing, but it looks like they're going to have a little bit of time to discuss it during this pause.
Yeah, this pause coming through. I don't know why, because no one DC'd, so it's not a disconnect. It's probably some IRL diff, and I blame everyone. Blame Timberland in the chat. He said it's gonna be a TG win. Everything was going too well. Whole game's Timberland's fault now. All of a sudden, pauses happen. You type that. Regardless, it's been really, really good here from Touching Grass to find Renegade so often in these side lanes, and now all of a sudden you can see all 5 of them have got these shutdowns. So they have to play a lot cleaner than they really have been throughout the series. They've been kind of getting picked off. Everyone's really been getting picked off and being like a little slow, a little lazy. Mid issues, hype. So once they get that resolved, we'll be back into the game here shortly. But the big thing is, can Touching Grass kind of hold on to those shutdowns? Because when you've got all 5 shutdowns, even a Lulu who's alone is a really, really good pick.
Yeah, and obviously Miami Vice has the tools to take care of it and to get onto somebody and make those picks. The problem is every time that Noto has a really good ult, there's just nobody there to follow up on the damage. So we'll see here as you almost spoke that into existence. Lulu almost gets caught there, but gets out. Hair over chinny chin chin is it looks like Baron setup is the play, but we see both mid laners going towards the bot side as the buffer comes in.
That secondary pause.
Yeah, we're gonna be I think we may have a lull in the action, but you never know with IBSG. This could just go into a new scrap over nothing. But as of right now, Touching Grass has all the momentum, and it's their game to lose. They just have to give Miami Vice the opening that they need.
At this point right now, you can start a fight if you're either team to try and find a pick here before Baron. Because you only really need 1 dead for it to count as a pick for Baron, especially if you're going to pick off someone like Lucifer or even like really anyone would be a good pick off, just because everyone's valuable here for the side of TG. Whereas if you're Miami Vice, it's kind of in the similar boat. You need Noto's Engage. You need Soul Muncher on this Viego to get the resets. You need Renegade to have that option, have that kind of like X Factor, Emperor's Divide. You need the Zeri to deal damage. We haven't really been seeing Trey deal a whole lot of damage at this game. Now, granted, they haven't had a chance to So that could change here in this next fight, as Lucifer's going to go into Noto and just realize how much damage Malphite has and how hard it is to really do anything to him. He's just getting autoed. He's huffing. He's puffing. He's doing everything he can to make it look easy. And Lucifer cannot make it out, cannot run away. Noto inevitably finds the solo kill.
Yeah, that's just I can fight this, but can you? And so yeah, Noto on this Malphite plays that really well, waits for Ambassador ult before he ults, you know, and then just like slowly whittles it down with the Thornmail. You know, no lifesteal obviously on the side of Lucifer, but like the Thornmail just does like consistent damage every time that you hit him. And you're not taking damage because of the 5,000 armor that you have stacked up, which also helps your damage. So well played by Malphite, just a bad decision by Lucifer. At least now he knows I can't do this anymore. I need my team with me. So hopefully he doesn't try to pull that trigger 1v1 as we see the teleport coming in from the Malphite. Baron is in the vision for Miami Vice.
And they took a long time to start this, so Lucifer has the teleport. Noto doesn't have that ultimate refresh yet, nor is the public execution here from Lucifer. So it's 4v4 in the ultimates, 5v5 in the game. Lucifer's gonna flash into the wall. He's over the pit. He's the first target here for my voice. Heal used, Encore used. So much are gonna pick up Lucifer there, and the Empress Divide going to the back line of Touching Grass as they're just scooped into the waiting arms of Trey and Renegade, picking up the rest of the fights, and Beeson limps away here as Touching Grass fatal flaw.
Oh, what a bad call. You did not have the positioning yet when he flashed over. It looks like maybe they were like, hey, Baron's almost dead, we need to go. But that was a terrible call on the side of Touching Grass to just force that before Lucifer had his ult to get on top of the Zeri or the Seraphine or anything. Sejuani's ult hits one, but he was isolated. They do get Soul Muncher, but you don't have your Sejuani to contest this, so it does look like Miami Vice is going to get the free Baron after just a really, really ill-advised engage on the side of Touching Grass.
It's just a rough case. I respect Lucifer for trying to start the fight, but if you're Touching Grass, really your only person that can start the fight, like, yes, it is you Mbessa if you land an ultimate. Otherwise, it's Sejuani ultimate, or you're just waiting for them to go. You're waiting to find some healing for Sivir. You're waiting to create time for Sivir to auto tech, because yes, she's 0-1 and 8. That's still a 3-item Sivir. That's still going to do a lot of damage to everyone else that isn't named Malphite. So you just need to buy her time, and when you go for these like snap engage fights that that benefit a champion like Tristana or like Samira, doesn't benefit Sivir at all. She needs to auto. She needs to kind of reset that auto cooldown. Needs to get a couple of boomerangs out of there, and that's just not able to happen.
Yeah, no, and it's something that was brought up in the chat. We didn't talk about it on here, but why is there no Black Cleaver when Malphite has done nothing but stack armor, you know? So I probably would have went that over Sojin as well, just because you know you're dealing with the Malphite, but you want the Sivir to do damage. That's one way for you to sort of empower her as a top laner. As now it looks like Miami Vice is just going to keep pushing in, and there is no answer for this siege just yet.
There's no answer for the siege, and Lucifer is getting really far forward. I'm surprised there was no trigger pull there. Maybe they got the sixth sense that Beeson's waiting on this side. They've started to look now. I only counted 4, says Miami Vice. We got to get out of here before we get flanked. They're turning their sights toward this bot tier 2.
Yeah, and you know, B7 and 3 does a ton of damage, and if he can open it up with a strong Sejuani ult and catch somebody out, maybe a Trey or a Renegade, it could be really bad for them. You know, we'll get resets and be able to do damage to the entire team. As now we see they're focusing the bot tier 2, just going to try to get some cleanup gold here before potentially backing and doing another last of the Baron push. Renegade just free hitting.
They just get to free hit so easily with this Azir. Their siege is so high. Noto doesn't take damage at all. And let alone any sort of option for anyone to try and deal damage. If you're in that range to hit him, he's just gonna ult you. He's the rock that you have to try and move, and It's too hard for TG to do that right now. Polymore's going to get used. It's a big cooldown now as the tower's going to fall below half. Renegade trying to find it. It's a scoop! Straight to the backline. Malphite missed the ultimate, but Encore's coming through. Renegade going to fall. B-Sin in the backline. Perfectly executes Moby White there. Is now Lucifer back here. Better than ever. There's no Malphite that he has to deal with as he's just getting stunned up. Nodo couldn't find the ult to follow up on a beautiful scoop from Renegade, and TG capitalize.
Wow, that looked like such a clean Emperor's Divide. It got 3 of the members over on the wrong side of the turret, including your Sivir, yet B-Sin finds a perfect flank at the same time that Lucifer ults in and just locks up Moby White, and they pay for a clean engage with their lives. That is like gotta be so disheartening on the side of Miami Vice. Your Baron buff is gone. Your lead is almost gone now. What a huge climb back for the side of Touch and Grass. If you can get caught out like that and have 3 or 4 of your members be on the wrong side of an Azir ult and still get out with a 4 for 2, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself there.
Feeling good about yourself there, but you're also, if you're TG, you have to kind of recognize what happened there. Nodo tried to ult immediately off of the Emperor's Divide, but a big thing is those Sand Soldiers that come up from that Azir ultimate count as terrain. You can't click on that, and I think that's what happened is they had their mouse over it and it clicked and it just pushed them way past everyone. But that big miss costs Miami Vice tons of pressure, tons of presence. All of a sudden, yes, you mentioned that was a beautiful fight engage, and now they're not quite on the back foot yet. They're still up some gold here, but 35 minutes in the game, 2,000 gold is kind of pocket change. It's the difference between like a couple pink wards between the supports and like that pickaxe. So it's not really the biggest thing, but what is big here is the confidence you get from that fight here. Unreportedly level 15, almost to level 16. Hamilcar, same thing. Lucifer dinged over to 16. As we're starting to get these level 3 ultimates coming through, it's a lot of stats, and it's even more time for the Sivir to buy armor pen, as you can see that in their inventory, and really, really start to hurt.
As you see now, Soul Muncher getting caught out a little bit. Ooh, Ambessa misses the ult here, but it turns the attention on the Renegade, who just has to get out of there. But is
Lucifer's
too far ahead again?
Far forward, another Emperor's Divide missed from Renegade. They've been looking good with it. Now Nodo's TPing over, stops the engagement of the tower here. But that side push is good enough. It's crashed top lane. Lucifer's half HP. Could respond to it. Has TP themselves. And reportedly going to go into Soul Muncher, but Nodo doesn't want to quite turn it yet. It's just a stun. They're just pumping damage to Sejuani, and no one's trading it back from the side of TG. Is Lucifer still stuck in this fight?
Yeah, if you're TG, you know, as the Sivir, I can't get close here. All it takes is one big Malphite ult and a follow-up from Seraphine, and Zeri just coming into the back with the Runons, just dealing so much damage. We saw what she did to Lucifer on the solo side.
Reset.
Here comes.
He hasn't reset yet.
Flank,
it's 5,500. They're just going to turn on to you, man. You've got no HP to work with. Unreportedly, he's gotten half HP just from trying to get through. Renegade Trey is here, and Soul Muncher picks it up in the form of Lucifer, of the Ambassa. Now it's just being followed. The Heartbreaker used to close the distance. Unreportedly cannot get away, cannot escape, and it's just a fallen Sejuani. Lucifer also falls there. Why did they not reset, man? They had TP. They had so much time.
Yeah, you had TP. You had the flash to get away from the Malphite. I know it's not the easiest thing, but you knew it was coming. Nodo just realizes it, makes the call, goes for it, and that's what a "hey, I'm going in" call is supposed to look like. They didn't get it with the Emperor's Divide under the tier 3 turret, but still, they have the trigger pulls that they're ready to use, and even without an Azir ult, they still win that fight handily.
Yeah, they handle the fight perfectly, and it gets them another Baron to work with here. Now it's been TG's comfort zone, at least in this game, just on the back foot, finding mistakes and kind of picking them apart. But here it's another mistake that they've made here, and it's costing them dearly. More space on the map. Another Baron push they have to weather as the wave's starting to really stack up and get closer. There's so much time that Miami Vice has here to work on this Baron actually hitting towers. Typically half a Baron gets used to not even hit towers here. Lucifer far forward again. Renegades here has the Emperor Divide. Public Execution is going to use. Lucifer couldn't quite burst. That's 3 Sand Soldiers, baby. That's a Rabadon's death cap with the inventory. Renegade just putting out the work.
Yeah, and that just is so defeating if you're on touching grass. Like, dude, what are you doing? Unfortunate, but good heads up play by Renegade to realize that he was there, and even if he dies there, the rest of the team was there to clean that up. So just a little bit of an overstep from Lucifer, not realizing what's going on in the map. Probably one wave too many to push out. Probably close to an item and wanted to finish it, but you got to be cognizant of what's going on in the map status, and just pays for it there with his life. And if you're TG, you're just thankful that the waves weren't all pushed in at that moment.
Yeah, I imagine they're very thankful. There's a lot of time going there, but since they spent so much time rotating, they're really only going to be able to pick up 1 to 2 of these inhibitors, but they might only need 1 to 2 of those inhibitors to finish this off. First wave starting to smack onto those Nexus towers, but the fight's decided we don't really want this. If you're Miami Vice, we don't want to make the mistake again. We don't want to try and give the Sivir too much space, and Renegade's back in the flash. Another scoop is used. Noto's going to miss it again. Trey, though, bursts Lucifer. There's no mistaking. That's Trey on the Quadra, looking for the pentakill, but unreportedly he's pretty tanky, able to make it out, and that's not a pentakill. Might be able to get through here, as in the base, just 1 more needed. They won, and Sona's and Seraphine. Freudian slip there, but it's Miami Vice. No Freudian slip here, taking the game off TG. It was a matter of time before they finally found the scoop and the follow-up they needed.
Yeah, and another really clean Emperor's Divide. He missed a couple, and that time Noto misses his ult again, but this time Seraphine there with the Encore, able to lock up B-Sin and Hamilcar, and I think it was Lucifer caught up in there as well. So a 3-man follow-up to the Emperor's Divide. Everybody there, Zeri just sitting there having the time of her life, shooting everybody all at the same time. So really, really well played. That game has to go over to this to Renegade. Even though he made a couple mistakes here and there, he was able to make up for it with really, really clean team fighting and great engage in ults, and a really well played series from both of these guys, both of these teams. Touching grass, it was nice to see them finally get a win on stream or even in the season at all. But Miami Vice proving why their resilience and the reason why they are on top of this.
I mean, that last ult was a little sketchy, with the Azir walking forward there to make it happen, but still made it happen in the end. And it's a big congratulations to Miami Vice, who actually got taken the distance by touching grass, but still hard fought from them. They earned the victory. They earned all the accolades they get there, and so a big congratulations for them. This should, I believe, cement them at the top of the table here going into next week.
So they were with the record tied for first, but since they had more 2-0s, they were sitting with 1 extra point. This is now their throne to sit on alone at the top of the IBSG leaderboards.
So one last congratulations to them. Thank you, everybody, for spending your night here. Thank you to, let me get proper name, Loki Bear. Loki Bear. Thank you, Loki Bear, for producing us tonight. Thank you, Fel, for casting. Thank you, everyone, for spending your night here. And I've been Halfling, joined by Fel, produced by Loki Bear, and we'll see you all next stream.
Tomorrow, not
tomorrow.
Eastern.